don't know if you've noticed this, but it always seems to be night on 64th Street.
By the time we get done with our busy days, it's always night. You know, we meet together here.
Exactly.
It could just be Blade Runner land, where the sky's always so dark it seems like night even when it's day.
And being a resident of Los Angeles, I just thought that it was like Blade Runner-esque, where it was like the sky was just smog and it's just this perpetual haze, right?
Yeah. Well, this is it, isn't it? I mean, that was the biggest shock I got with that Cyberpunk game. It's like it's bright, sunny, because it's in California, isn't it? And it's bright and sunny. It's like, this is wrong. Yes,
well, I mean, today it's bright and sunny, but in 50
El Monco
years,
Jiminy,
God knows,
Escrutos Brutos
Exactly,
Mutos.
yeah.
Greetings, Miss Helical. How are you?
That was the biggest shock I got from
How far did he get? Did he make the Superman logo for the Marvel Universe?
The mind blow to me was that the Blade Runner, like when I saw that originally when it came out when I was younger, it seemed like so far away. It took place in 2020, right? I mean, it was like, that was we're there.
But there, Los Angeles is a lot worse than it is now. But when I lived on the Gulf Coast,
yeah, I guess, exactly right. Yeah, told you.
Where you had cloud cover, and it didn't have to be dense.
I'm glad you did that.
But it holds the pollutants and air literally turn orange.
We've got a zombie film coming out soon
actually,
on Netflix
air quality
in May.
Is better now than it was in the 70s, but.
Yeah, that's it. It freaked me out when we got to Back to the Future 2, wasn't it? That went past 1985 or whatever it was. Was it 95? I can't remember. 2019, November 2019, Blade Runner movie was set. Which might be why it was cold and grey and wet.
2019, 2020. That's right, and it's just we passed that.
Oh, he's already married.
Crazy, absolutely crazy. But anyway, so I can't recall if you had actually worked out the address for the lawyer or not.
I think we found his address, his bank details, transferred all his cash to our accounts, married his wife off to a Russian mobster, and okay, maybe not. Don't know. I don't think we did we?
No, I don't think you did. I think you just tracked down his name.
His name and his location, and wasn't he in some like the outskirts of the Barrens? He's not actually.
Yeah, he's actually in one of. He's not in the Barrens. He's basically in a rented office at sort of towards at the bottom.
We've got to track this guy who's someone's buying property, and
Betcon Tower, some huge
putting in these hot dog bars.
But they only
and they attacked our base here, which is a ramen shop.
50.
But now we're after him because they've attacked us twice.
And he's just got an office down there apparently.
Okay. So can I hack it?
You can't just hack it. No, they'll have firewall. But you can try, I suppose. It depends how good the security is. I must admit, they'll be probably hooked into that. One of the perks of the rental is probably they're using Metcon Tower's security, so it might be better security or harder to get into than you would expect. But yeah.
Who's the assistant hacker? Bueller? If two of us working together could do it, what have I got to do?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is it hacking?
Yeah.
Hey, assist me, Bueller.
All right, so we're looking for the hack. Ouch.
Wow.
7 all told. Are you happy with a 7?
There you go. I'll use the Benny, and I got that. Look at that. Look at that.
There we go.
Bloody exploding dice.
I love them. They're brilliant.
So you rolled a really good hacking, but what were you trying to do?
Find out everything we need to know about this guy and who he's working for. And
that isn't how hacking works. It isn't a straight dice roll. We're using the slow burn rules, not the hacking rules.
I don't know what slow burning hacking rules are. You have to tell me these things. I don't know. I'm new to this game. I was going to fireball them until you told me it's not that kind of world.
Well, you're not a street mage either, are you?
Who?
Right.
I don't know. Help me.
PowerPoints back yet?
So let's just assume
I made the roll.
hacking...
Everyone else tell me what I was supposed to be doing with that roll.
I'm going to give you that. There you go.
Ah, right. Let me read it. Okay.
I'll give that to you as well, and I'll give that to you as well for future reference.
Sorry.
I mean,
Out again.
sorry.
I was assuming that was to get into the building security.
I think it may well. I will assume that is the case as well.
How the slow burn, if I understand it right, essentially we're going from one node to another node to another node to get there.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, because obviously, if you're trying to find the node, which should be the research role, which I'll give you the benefit of the doubt you've already done. So then, so then you're going to once you're in the possession of then you've got to get the passcode, which I'm just trying to So I'm checking it myself now. Public access node to find a hidden access node. You must know one exists. Toughest target number repeated. Okay, after that, you've better known to sell. Okay, so what I can't remember is how you get the passcode. So inside and outside. So then you'd analyze the node. So the appearance of a non-hidden node is so the appearance of a hidden node is revealed simply by looking at it. Analyzing an ice within the same node as an action or success, you learn the type of rating of the analyze. Then you're going to attack the ice, which would be, I say, what your hacking was there. So the fighting works like cyber powering with the fighting utility or ice rating. Ice is always considered. Do you know what? I liked the fast hacking rules, but at the time everyone wanted the slow ones, so they're a bit more because they're a little more interesting and obviously more in depth. Whereas the nice other ones are dramatic tasks all the time. So I think this one works better. So you can sneak past the ice from a persona, improvise, because that's the interesting thing, you see. So what utilities have you got loaded on your cyber deck, you see? Because that decides what you can do with it. Because your cyber deck's limited by certain amounts of equipment, and you don't have a cyber deck anyway, so you can't even. Yes, you do. Cyber deck student. I
have got a cyber deck. Yeah.
Yep. So then you've got to load utilities on. Each utility has a cost of 0.5.
I got stealth.
Because you've got your hacking utility, so you've got your fighting. So your hacking utility, you've got your decrypt, your fighting, your persuasion, your relocate, yes, and stealth. You allows you to hide from ice personas. It masks the code and blows. Yeah, I have to admit, this is meant to be nice and fast and furious. I think I may well have to hack way around it for now.
So how do you add stuff to your cyber deck then? Imagine I'm a noob and I've only played Cyberpunk a few weeks with you lot before.
You buy them, they're like half a point.
Half a point, and you add on so many abilities like spells.
Yes, so
spell slots.
At the end of the day, I think you guys are going to have to go on the theory that you would be having to spend your legit. I think you need to treat this as a run. So you need to start. So first things first, if you're going to treat this as a run, you need to start equipping yourself. So you've got your logistic points for the run, haven't you? Which you can pull together. Okay. So you can pull. Don't forget, you can pull your logistic points together. Each of you knows how many logistic points you've got. The reason I say that is because obviously it may be a case that a few of you want to invest in one more expensive deck, as it were, as opposed to having your own decks. But then obviously that limits on what you can do. So I think if you treat this as a run first. So first of all, what are your objectives? Are you planning just to remotely hack this place, go and visit the place, talk to the person? What are you planning to do? Work out what your plan of attack is. Then you can work out what equipment you need to take. Then you can go and buy the gear, the non-traceable gear, if for any reasons like that. And then we'll use your hacking roll.
Okay. Well, the corporate hacking deck costs 15.
Yeah, you might. I mean, yeah. At the end of the day, all that will gives you a corporate deck gives you better hardening, a bit more RAM. Loading speed, but costs more. So your streetwear deck or your streetwear. Donahue's got a streetwear deck, but actually at cost of 10. Logically, you can't buy anything else with it. You can't buy any utilities if you've got a streetwear deck. Rich, of course you can. I apologise.
He's rich, and he didn't tell us. Oh.
Fine.
What's an FL?
I'm greedy. I took rich because I'm greedy and I'm always working another angle.
Yeah, that's okay. What's an SB deck and what's an FL deck? If you look at the item list, it's got FL in brackets or SB in front of it.
Slow burn or fast lane. We're using slow burn.
Right. Okay.
Because you gotta remember, I took like black site data and lab data and cybernetic parts. Like I took rich because I'm greedy and I'm always looking for more money.
So we can use his deck because it's better than my student deck, which costs 1.
Yeah, rich, but right. I say okay. So
do we have any currency right now? What's our?
You always have money because you have money to live on with your lifestyle and everything else.
We've had 2 raises, so if you've had 2 raises, it's 12, isn't it?
But you've basically
advances, sorry, not raises.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, that's a good point actually. You've got 16, Donahue.
16.
16.
Permanent or temporary?
Permanent. Yeah, no, instead of giving you what I decided was instead of giving you a fixed, what was it? Instead of giving you 5 at a rank up, you get 1 at every advance and an additional 1 when you reach the next rank, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So you basically go 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. So it works out the same way, but it gives you a little more. So cash-wise, you have cash is not a concern. It's assumed when you're doing runs and everything else, you're earning cash. And obviously, when you have living expenses and your lifestyle decides how much money you really have and how you spend it. Logistic points is not necessarily actual cash. It's calling in favors, finding contacts, knowing where to find the untraceable weaponry and equipment, and also knowing how to safely dispose of it afterwards. That's sort of all what the logistic points idea is. So the idea is the concept. It's a bit of a strange concept. It came out of Titan Effect, where it was all requisition points. And the idea, in theory, none of your equipment's permanent, if that makes sense. In theory, every single run, you just throw your gear away and get new gear. But obviously, if you keep using the same gear, then you don't need to do that. But that's basically the logic on that. So logistic points is how you get equipment. Cash is sort of there and what you get paid, but it doesn't really affect the game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That said, of course, something like if you pull off a really good haul or someone pays you an awful lot of money, we will sort of translate that into sort of temporary bonuses here and there and stuff like that, as it were.
So what other resources points do we have to maybe get better to chip in?
Well, as I say, as it stands, you should start.
No. I'm asking the other players. Sorry,
yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, we need to upgrade the decks, don't we? If we want to use your streetwear deck and then upgrade that with some stealth and other stuff. I've got 12 points. I don't need my shotgun if we're standing. If we're in a safe place.
Something to bear in mind is if you don't have your own deck, you won't be able to assist.
I've still got my deck.
Yeah.
Sorry. So how many logistics points do we have at the moment?
You start with 10 if you're rich. 10 as default. If you're rich, you get 15. If you're filthy rich, I do believe you get another 10. And then because you've got 1 advance, you get 1. I'm giving you 1 logistic point for having per advance.
Per advance. Okay, so I should have 11.
You should have 11 logistic points. Yes.
Okay. Nice. So I will go and have a look.
I've got 11 left with my student deck.
10. Yes, that would make sense.
And we start with 15. Is that right?
No, start with 10.
Rich, you start with 10 unless you've taken the rich edge, and then you start with 15.
Oh, but because of the advances, aren't we at 12 though?
If you've got 2 advances, you're at 12. If you've got 1 advance, which is Donahue and Babaman, you're on 11.
Someone thought that
except,
he
of
was
course,
you.
Donahue's
This Bueller
reduced
guy who
speed
sounds a
doesn't
bit
make
like
anything
you.
more complicated.
Yeah, mechanical. No, it's not
Fair
mechanical.
enough.
But the idea is you can put the idea is you can all pull together as well. So in theory, you've got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 80, 81. You got a minute. You got 80, 85, 86, 87, 89, 91, 93, 95, 97. As far as I can work out, you've technically got 99 logistic points among all of you, between the lot of you, if that, as it were.
Let's get a rocket launcher and blow the building up.
I don't
Yeah,
think
take off and nuke it from
too
orbit.
many.
That's okay. So after setting aside weapon and armor, I have 11 points that I can throw towards stuff.
Don't forget transportation, unless you're planning to. Unless you're planning to take public transport, which is possibly traceable.
Well, we can get a van, can't we? How much does a van cost?
I was going to say, well, I thought we had a driver.
We've got a couple of
We
drivers,
have a
but we need a
driver,
vehicle,
but we
don't we?
have to keep getting the van, right? I'm driving, but we need to keep doing the piece. So currently, I have 2 logistic points. The van is 5.
Well, we can get a van. We just put aside, 10 for van, shall we?
That's
Well, like I
interesting.
said, I'm happy to use 2 of mine, but that leaves us 3 short.
I've got SUV van at 7.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it on Savage as 5. Logistic.
Now, is that a typo on my part, or is that a typo on Savaged?
I don't know. I'm looking at. I'm just looking at I'm looking at Savage at the same time we're doing this.
No, that's absolutely fine. Makes you wonder, doesn't it?
It's you don't have to look on the thing. It's in the game, isn't it? Vehicles.
Yeah, but I don't care how you do it. It's not a problem.
No, I mean, you don't have to go out of FantasyGrounds to find it. All there.
Yes, but the point is, right now, if with 2 different resources are saying 2 different
Yeah,
values,
I suppose. Yeah.
Who's right?
Yeah, but
Well,
we'll just stick
I
aside. If we just leave 10 aside for vehicles and other stuff, then we've got.
So the
kind of
answer to
van-
the question.
We've
So
got.
the question
What
is,
kind of van is it?
a sports utility vehicle or van? It just says.
It's SUV.
Book says 5. The book says 5.
So I screwed up.
Aha.
Aha! But that's okay, because I think you've only ever paid 5, so that's okay. I feel less guilty. It's an interesting typo, though. I wonder how that happened.
The luxury sedan limo above it is 7.
Size is 5, cost is 5. Yes, as you say, the luxury sedan limo above it is 7. Right. Oh, that's another update fix. Mind you, no one else has got it yet. Do you know what? You can actually go into the FantasyGrounds webpage and actually see the sprawl runners in the store. It's just you can't buy it.
Because you're not finished with it.
No, it's been finished for ages.
So why can't you buy it?
Because it's still in QA.
Right, okay.
Look,
Yeah, no, I bought the book. I guess I bought the book from Drive-Thru, didn't I? I can't remember where. I mean, there's only one.
Yeah, you would have.
That's where I got it.
Drive-Thru. Yeah.
I would have. Yeah, I mean, I know when we started, I picked up the book because it wasn't that much. I want to say it was like 10 or 15 bucks, right?
I think it's 7. Yeah. It's
I was gonna say,
$6.99. Yeah.
I know it wasn't one of those Wizards books that's
One.
$30,
No.
for the title.
So yeah. Just in case you're interested, there's no graphics on it or anything like that. It says it's got line of sight, which it doesn't because there's no maps in the book. But yeah, there's the store page for Sprawl Runners. Not that you can buy it yet.
That line of sight's coming, getting pushed pretty soon. I hope there's some chugging that's going on. It seems
Available March the 2nd. It says.
Yeah, I know. So that's quite worrying because it's still not for sale. Right.
Well, unless somebody has a time machine.
Well, now we know why it's still in QA, right?
Does make you wonder, doesn't it?
Okay, so I counted. I have 1.25 LP unused.
So I put the van on my character sheet, so it was there. But as as I'm looking at Savage, because that's kind of does the character sheet, I don't see like a tally for the logistic points anywhere. But on Savage, it says that I would be 3 short, so we need to just kind of come up with three points somewhere to make sure that we purchase the van.
Yeah. Savage is nice for the shopping experience. I won't deny that because it does the costings for you, doesn't it? Yeah, because FantasyGrounds obviously.
I had said I was going to put the ad in, and I still got to go on your other website and deal with that too. I'm so sorry. I hope I'm not holding you back on that.
No, not at all. Don't worry about that.
I forget the name, that Conca site or whatever it was that you wanted us to put the.
You don't have to. It's only if you want to. It's only because then other people could browse the information. It's just there. The idea is you guys should be able to. You got ideas or stuff. The idea was it's a world we can build together. So if you want to add corporations or stuff in, I can. It can get incorporated. That's the whole idea of it. So.
Well, and that's why I just didn't do it last night before I sacked out. And the fact is that I wanted to do the advances on Beulah on Savage.
Yeah.
So can look
that's
at
fine. That's absolutely fine.
And then, because that's a good way to be able to share the character,
it
on
is.
your Discord or whatever, right?
Okay, there is.
Erwin has a logistic point that he's willing to toss in if you guys need it.
Okay, so there's one. So we just need 2 more to be technically right. I don't see the DM giving us a hard time over it, but to be on the up and up, we're too shy.
You can have one from me, and if you need, I can also free another.
Yeah, if we're not, so basically we don't need any weapons, do we, at the moment? So we can just knock them off of our points because we're just going hacking, aren't we?
Well, I'd stay armed. It is a Savage dice game after all. I mean, there's going to be some danger, right? So
Wave can kick in 1 logistic point.
Well, that's awesome. So that's our 3. If with you and Bobby Man, that would be the 3. That's wonderful. And now we've got our van.
I've
3, 4, 5.
From my logistic points.
Okay, so I will cancel.
You get 1 for each race, do you not? Is that right?
Yeah, so
as written by rules, you're meant to get 5 at every rank, but I decided you get 1 and then 2 when you rank up. So if you've had 2 advances, you should be on 12, Pow.
Yeah, Pow. I asked that part earlier, right? Like how many times, because I missed one of the advancements somehow.
I think I lost track of one of mine somewhere. What I'm going to do is eventually sit down and list all my equipment with what it cost and logistic points to make sure I'm right where I'm supposed
Right, that's exactly what I was doing right as we're speaking on Savage.
Okay, so I've got at the moment my equipment list is 8.75. Still got to pay for 2 stim patches, but it means that I basically even after I spend that, I still got 2 free points. I'm budgeting it I'm still budgeting against 10. So there's 2 more points if people want. That's 4 programs on a cyber deck.
It is, but I'm trying
assuming I've got a room to fit it. No?
Okay, each utility takes up 1 RAM when loaded. Some utilities have utility options available to them. So don't forget. So obviously that's the really interesting thing. Buying upgrades, utility options for the utilities don't actually cost any more. They just take up more RAM.
So the more utilities you've got, essentially every utility you add, that's another skill. So, for example, if you want to if you sneak in, you're sneaking into the virtual environment, you want to make a stealth roll to get past the ice. You need
Exactly.
a stealth program loaded, and then you roll hacking as your stealth skill. But without that program loaded, your hacking can't be used as stealth.
Hang on a second.
yeah,
I've got
so
this thing called skill wires. Does that let me just pick a random skill? Does it? Or random? Slotted skill at D8. Can it slot that into me, or has it got to go into the deck?
That's into you. That's a cyberware.
Okay, so that wouldn't be any help in this situation, would it?
Except for the fact that the DM I said that if we're gonna help hack, we need a
your own deck.
Blah blah blah. We need our own deck of some sort.
Yeah, because what the logic I'd be using is the three of you network your decks together, and then as the three of you, you'd work as a team to hack in, if that makes sense.
Even if somebody's got a deck with all skills loaded, if an ice finds you, even if somebody's standing there with a basic deck and they've got an attack program, they still get an attack against the ice. I mean, so you can have 3 people attacking it, even if it's a basic deck,
It depends. If you're going in as assisting, no. But if the three of you can all attack together, then yes, you can. It depends how you want to do it.
It depends how you want to do it.
Can someone tell me what the FLSB stands for?
Fast lane hacking or slow burn. There's 2 different sets of hacking rules. Basically the vote went for slow burn hacking when one person got the vote, and that person wasn't me.
No problem. Because I have the cheap slow burn deck.
Yeah. Basically, there's 2 ways to deal with hacking, and obviously, there's the slow burn is a little more convoluted, but I think supposedly gives you more flavour and enhancement. Whereas the fast lane hacking, to be honest, is just a dramatic task, and I have used it in the past, and it is a bit of, well, you've done this, make a hacking roll, right? Now you make a hacking roll. Now make a hacking roll. Whereas the slow burn is, you have to have load of utilities, and you'll be using different skills. Once I get my head around it myself.
Actually, I'll tell you the primary difference between slow and fast. Right, it's a game structure. If you're doing slow hacking, it's more intense. But for everybody who's not a hacker, they are passively watching the game. They are not playing it.
Yes, that is the downside.
Well, three of you explore the dungeon, and that's fine. People are willing to sit and have the tension of not being able to help you and see only 3 of you get through a dungeon. That's fine if people want to play it like that. But if some people don't, then that's why people use fast hacking, because it basically gets those 3 characters through that encounter faster.
Yeah, but to
that's,
my mind,
that's the only difference, really,
Yeah, but to my mind, you see, is if you're on a run, if we're doing it right, if you're planning it right, then hopefully
hacking's going on the same.
Yeah,
hacking's going on the same time while you guys are sneaking into the building.
Yeah, in my mind, that's how it should be done. If you're all relying on just one or t'other, then things might not necessarily be going the right way. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just closed that actions in cyberspace.
Yeah, so if you go library, sprawl runners.
It's in there. Got it.
Yeah. Actually, I really need to rename Sprawl Runners to reference manual because it isn't clear what it is. So if you go to Sprawl Runners, then go Sprawl Runners, that will open up the reference manual. And in there, you just want to go down to cyberspace, and then you can see under slow burn actions in cyberspace.
Got it.
So let's sort that one out now. This is what I like about running games where I'm doing the rule set, because then you guys are playtesting it at the same time. So why those quotes are there? Get rid of those.
I mean, okay. I don't mind the slow burn rules. For me, for a player, you can have 3 people, they get in trouble, and there's nothing I can do to help other than carry away the unconscious. You know what I mean?
Well, the nice thing with slow burn is that you can use your skills in cyberspace, and the utilities let you use basically hacking as a substitute.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. basically you're doing it's a 3-man dungeon run basically.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't want to spend too much time on the planning of it, of course. And yeah, I'm hoping that when we're doing these adventures, you guys can be sat outside and hacking in, but other people, I don't want a situation where the hackers are doing everything, if that makes sense. And
Yeah,
so
that makes sense. So if we pick so we need to get a stealth utility, a fighting utility, do we?
I have a fighting utility.
And how did you add that to your thing? Have you just written it down on the deck? Have you?
Yeah, unfortunately, as it stands, there isn't an easy way to add. I really wanted to make utilities modifications, but basic items can't have mods. So at the moment, the only way you can do it is to add. I think the utilities are items you can add. What I'd be inclined to do is, and I've just checked you can do it this way. So if you go into your library, go down to Sprawl Runners, go down to utilities, all the utilities should be listed there under hacking utilities and other utilities. And then if I borrow your character sheet as an example and go to inventory, you should be able to say, take the fighting. And yeah, so what you can do is you can drag. So if I share,
Yeah, I've
that,
seen it. Yeah, fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. So now if you drag that in there, you probably want to rename it slightly. And what I would then do is basically under the location, if you make that match your deck, then it's if you set your location to the same name as whatever you've called your deck, then it will actually put the fighting utility under your deck, if that makes sense.
Yep, I get it. Yep.
So then you.
Fair enough, but what do we don't just start pulling utilities though, do we? They've got to have cost, right?
Utilities cost 0.5 logistic points each, and to have them, that is where it gets interesting. I was just reading up on. I was just checking.
Okay, so I see how the deck has a RAM listed.
Yes. Each utility costs run 1 RAM unless you enhance it with extras.
And then you've also got hardening, and what I don't know what that is, but
that's for combat, I believe. I was going to check.
Yeah,
so
that's basically cyber or matrix armor.
Each utility takes up to 1 RAM when loaded. Some utilities have utility options available to them, which greatly expand their capabilities. Each option increases the amount of RAM the utility uses when loaded. That's the important thing here. It only is when you load it into your deck. So you can have more utilities than you've got RAM, but you can't have any. You can only have the maximum amount of RAM you're usable. Each utility or option has a cost. So options do each option has a cost of half. So a standard healing utility will cost you half a logistic point. A healing utility with the heal bot will cost you 2 RAM and a full logistic point. That's how it works. Because that heal bot allows you to heal another operator's cyber deck. So
you got to unplug the Space Invaders before you can play Pac-Man.
Yeah. So the armor utility protects the operator from cyberspace damage. Roll hacking when loading this utility. On a success, it adds 2 points of cyberspace armor. On a raise, it adds 4 points of cyberspace armor. Yeah, so your cyber deck is so your cyber deck. The hardening is the cyberspace toughness, even against black ice. To replace a burnt out point of hardening requires access to some spare parts, a day of work per lost points, and an electronics roll at -2 to repair your decks, basically. So your hardening's your armor. So basically, cyber combat, instead of using is that so in terms of cyber combat, hardening's your parry, and the damage you do when attacking is your hacking dice plus your utility. I do believe. Where is it? Utility replaces the fighting skill. Mechanically works the same. A success causes 1d4 points of damage plus the operator's hacking dice. So if you guys are doing into cyber hacking under combat, you get to start creating some interesting new attacks. Wonderful. Decrypt, fighting, smoke, and stealth. So what? I'll use Donahue as a test. So what we need to do is we'll create an attack called cyberspace attack. We right-click on the attack options. We're going to set it to a custom attack type.
I see. And then on the sheet, I got it. It's like putting stuff in your backpack if you ever play 5e, where you drop the location.
Yes.
And you put the location as the exact title of your deck.
Yeah. You get away with this? No,
And
I
then,
think you could.
then it tabs in.
So this would be interesting. We'll have to work this one out. The character works fighting. Okay, hockey. A successful attack causes hacking damage. Hacking is also used to calculate the opposite of cyber parry, which equals 2 plus half their hacking skill. So, that's so if you could be attacked as well as your deck. I'm very confused on this one. I'll get my head around it. Up to now, we've got away with it. Might have to read up on this one. Hopefully, there won't be any cyber combat today.
Aye, so ice tries to disconnect you or burn out chips on your deck, and black ice actually changes the character's metabolism and causes brain hemorrhage.
Yeah,
basically kills you. Hence black
I
ice.
have read it all, but I've forgotten it. But what I can't find is what your fighting skill is.
So hopefully you're
fighting. With slow burn, it's actually fighting.
Is it? Okay.
What the utilities do is they allow you to use hacking in substitute of a skill.
Yes.
So like I have, instead of using, if I had the notice, from what I'm reading it, if I have the notice utility, instead of using my D6 notice, I can roll hacking and get my D8, use the D8 for hacking to do a notice check.
So if you've got the attack fighting utility, you can actually use your hacking as
the fighting roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which means we can do that. And hopefully your hacking skill is a D8. See, there you go. So if you look now, you see you're actually using hacking as your cyberspace attack. Nice. It's a shame you can't. Obviously, with any of the stats, you can change the damage to any of your stats, but you can't use skills as a stat yet. So you're going to have to manually update your cyberspace attack damage as you go up and down. Right. Okay, that gets my head around it.
Okay.
The parry is equal to half your hacking skill with the parry. Yeah, we'll worry about that because I can do that on the fly.
Can I ask a FantasyGrounds question?
Yes.
Just for sheer coding, would this not be easier for them to have a vehicle?
For what?
So you can give them, you can give somebody a car, you can put guns on the car. I just wondered that you could use the same sheet in FantasyGrounds as a cyber deck. You can add stuff to it.
Possibly, I'll have to look into that.
Because then you can that way you can have a separate character sheet with a separate set of skills, a separate set of attacks and utilities. Customize without mucking up your own character sheet.
You mean like creating an NPC for the vehicle?
No, well, you can add it. You can actually. I don't know if it's a good idea, but you can technically add guns to a vehicle.
Yeah, so, I mean, to be honest, all it really needs is I need to learn how to.
Vehicles have a combat tab for adding weapons.
Yeah, but the problem is if you can't use. Yeah, you could cheat and pretend your cyber deck's a vehicle, but all the vehicle stats are still there. The absolute answer is basically the absolute answer is I need to learn how to actually create stuff. Actually modify the rule set, and to be brutally honest, I can't work out how the bloody thing works because you know what I mean. If you actually look at the Savage Worlds rule set, there's about 200 to 300 scripts that can define the rule set, and I don't know how I can't follow. I lose the will to live halfway through trying to track down how they all work together because obviously. I'm not a programmer.
Legacy software.
Yes. Yeah. Basically, unfortunately, what we really need is a kill to actually sort of not have real life getting in the way in the time and actually playing on this campaign because then he'd write all the code for us. But he isn't. So. Okay. I think everyone's got their equipment sorted. I've got my head around how we do the combat if we end up cybering. So, actions in cyberspace. So, analyze a node, persona, or icon. That is that. So, I'm trying to work out what your 21 would get you. See, what winds me up is this whole, oh yeah, I've rolled a 21 on the hacking. So okay, so that will get you past the firewalls, but then obviously the ice and everything else may start detecting you. So it's not as straightforward as just like, oh, I'm going to hack it, if that makes sense. It is if you want to get in and out fast. But what are you trying to hack the Metcom tower for anyway?
We're trying to get into his computer, the lawyer's office's computer.
Okie dokie. So,
and also cover the physical team going in.
Yep. Now, as far as I heard people spend, I thought saw people spend bennies.
Samuel?
I'm just going to reset bennies because how come you all get 4 bennies? You don't.
Don't. I'm gonna get 3.
I've got luck.
I have lucky.
Oh, a few people.
That's an interesting quirk on the party sheet. If one of your characters gets luck, and then
I've got luck as well.
Yeah, what it is the party sheet has this interesting thing where it shows everyone's got the same number of bennies if you've been on the character who's got the luck edge. That got me very confused. I'm going to reset all your bennies. I know that hacking of 21 is pretty awesome, but if we're going to do it properly, you're going to do it properly. So obviously, Metcom Corporation has a proper, will have obviously public nodes and hidden nodes. Obviously, logically speaking, likewise, there should they wouldn't have companies that are renting offices
Check their bacon out and the egg as well.
Corporate network, but at the same time they
make sure the water's hot.
Piggybacking onto their land connections. So what you will need to do is you will need to find the node that is the node that is on the Metcom network for the rental offices, as it were. Once you find that node, you can then analyze that node to find the sub network that obviously his the lawyer's office will be on, and that will then get you the node you need to actually try and sneak in through to get access to his systems. So on that basis of the everyone sitting around where everyone else hacks, what do the rest of you want to do? Because I'm sure there's other stuff you could do while these hackers start basically going into cyberspace land.
Well, Waif was going to go in with Mr. Nakazumi, posing as a buyer for his property because his is one they're interested in. It gives us a face-to-face with the lawyer.
Indeed.
Get some concept of where he really stands. And whether just the idea that someone else is swooping in there and buying up property his client is interested in shakes anything loose.
Righty-ho. That sounds good to me.
Yeah, it's going to be the standard plan that always comes out is social people will go off and do talking. Droid operators will go off and photograph the building. Mages will go and astral scan it, and hackers will hack it. And we all meet up afterwards, discuss.
I always forget which shape hexes to use. I always use the wrong ones. FantasyGrounds always defaults to locking. Okay, so obviously it's quite straightforward. You can quite easily find a telephone number, as it were. Yeah, the equivalent of a telephone number in their in the directory to actually basically give the guy a call and arrange an appointment. So you can phone through to his office and. So what's your cover purchase, or what are you planning to purchase?
That my adopted father is an old friend of Mr. Nakazumi's, and Mr. Nakazumi is ready to retire, and my adopted father is considering buying the place, and we were looking for a lawyer that could help us with the paperwork.
Very lots.
Okie dokie. That sounds good.
Smells like coffee.
Basically, So you once you give the address of 64th Street, Raman, as the purchase, he seems most interested and eager to talk to you, and basically gives you the opportunity to come down and see him. Well, basically, almost imminently. It'll be sort of. It's interesting. You would have thought that was after normal office hours, but he seems quite eager to talk to you. So if he'll meet you at his office at 7 o'clock tonight if you want to meet him face to face.
So Mr. Nakazumi, I'm presuming because we've done such a good job of protecting him so far, will play along with this as a way to get this stuff off the back. Also, is there any of the other more, normal looking types wanting to come along as part of this?
Well, I was about to ask if you wanted Merlin to go along with you.
Well, can you shed the robes, Merlin? Because they look kind of weird. I mean, even in the Barrens, they look kind of weird.
Fine.
That's harsh.
Put on a nice suit or something.
I just thought I'd go with your crazy boyfriend, but whatever.
That seems unfortunate. Right. Oh, bum. Let's change the name. There we go. Right. So if anyone's not planning to hack and they're not planning to cyberspace, what are they planning? What are you planning to do? I don't know who's left actually, so that's why I'm asking.
Well, and I am going to point out to the others that this guy seems surprisingly anxious for a meeting outside of office hours. So when Merlin, Mr. Nakazumi, and I go inside, we'd kind of like them nearby in case we're being set up. I mean, they can hack at any time, and they can even be hacking while we're in, for all I care. In fact,
Yeah, you can just park the van outside, can't you?
Especially since we're keeping the guy busy, talking to us, he may make it easier to.
Bobby Money is thinking that these hot dogs are. They need to chill out, man. But Bobby Man does not understand what you are doing with papers and purchases and sellings and Nagasaki's and old fathers and not really fathers and what are you doing, man? We go there, we talk to man. The lawyer man will tell what the lawyer man knows.
Fuck.
Getting paid not to.
Nobody's paid the right way.
Well, Bobby Man, I know you're a nice, peace-loving guy, but the reality here in the Barrens is most people aren't peaceful, and there's always a money incentive, but then there's you do what we tell you and you keep quiet about it or you die incentive.
This is an easy punishment.
Someone dancing in their pajamas.
Bobby Man, how many of those hot dogs are now cold dogs because we've already put them in the grave? Case in
Bobby
point.
Man does not count. Bobby Man sees the truth.
There we go.
Bobby Man.
That told you.
Can't argue with that.
And just for bookkeeping purposes, Merlin is going to change his robe with all of its runes out for just a standard long coat.
No problem at all. I am setting stuff up while you guys are having some interactions, so please.
What is this thing that Mr. Weiss wants to know from this lawyer man?
We want him. We want to see. First of all, it's clear that he's working for the guy who wants that have been sending the hot dogs after the ramen shop.
No, lawyer man works for the man who brings the money.
Guy
Maybe.
that's threatened the bullet.
Sorry, now two people talking at the same time. I missed what wife said.
Waif will point out to you that, yeah, he's going to get paid for it, but the further incentive is you do as we ask or you die.
Well, that's putting it bluntly.
Well, this is the Barrens, dudes. This is the Barrens. Pay attention to your surroundings, or you're all gonna die.
Just point out he's not in the Barrens. You'll be. You'll be. Yeah. No, I know that. I'm just pointing out that you will be in. You will be basically in ex-territorial. In fact, corporate territory, because this building, the whole of this building, will count as corporate territory.
Why are you using your phone to watch Twitches?
So therefore, if anyone believes that all of the influence in the Barrens comes within the Barrens, they're not paying attention.
Oh yeah, no. I understand where you're coming from, but I'm just pointing out that any actions taken. I mean, it's no different than any other time you go on a run. Any actions you take in a corporate environment are not taking place on American soil. It is basically, that's the scary thing about it. Basically, you have, as soon as you enter their building, you are no longer the laws and any laws and legal rights you have under U.S. constitutions do not apply on corporate territory. They can make up their own laws. That's the scary thing about these corporations, you see. So yeah. So what I'm trying to say is there is you can go in there and threaten him, but at the same time, you may have repercussions later on.
It's not my intent to threaten him.
No, I know you. No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just pointing out the interesting situations if that happens.
Even if this corporation is trying to get into the Barrens under the, operate some criminal activity on the side, he's working for somebody, and it's
3 o'clock.
probable that he's working, as much to keep alive as he is to get paid. Because, well, this is this world. Barrens is the worst of the worst, but none of it's good.
Yep, no, I completely understand where you're coming from, and I don't disagree with anything you were saying there. I was just reminding you that.
Yeah, well, I needed that reminder because I didn't know that, but yeah.
Just reminding you that if you upset the corporations, they catch you on their territory, then it gets interesting because you're pretty much at their.
We're going in as under the guise of a legitimate transaction. The hackers, they're coming in from outside, and we don't know that once getting inside, that it won't tip somebody who will come after us. And if I'm inside and I need to defend myself, I like to know the other guys are nearby to bail me out.
Exactly.
I mean, Merlin's great. Between us, we can handle most things, most ordinary threats, but we don't know what we're facing going in there because, as you said, it's a corporation. The rules are theirs.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm just sorting the last few things out. So, who is going to the offices with Waif and Merlin? That's really all I need to know. I mean, you don't actually have to go inside. You could be waiting outside.
Yeah, I think that's a question for Quig, really, because you don't need a bull in a china shop unless you need to break out of a china shop.
Well, bear in mind, Mr. Nakazumi is going with us. You're well known.
Yeah.
Mr. Nakazumi's sweeper. You could go in as Mr. Nakazumi's bodyguard. I mean, given we're from the Barrens, those who could have a bodyguard probably do.
Exactly.
Arse.
Oh, there's that.
As I say, I'm just taking advantage of the fact that we're discussing things to sort out, to give me some time to sort things out in the background. So I appreciate that. But I think we're there.
2 towers.
So, okay, so what I'm going to say is that, okay, so let's make it simple. Pow Pow, are you Are you entering the building, staying on the periphery in the van with the
Well-
hackers, or are the hackers even going near the place? That's the question. So I'm
Well,
just
I
going down the
think
combat tracker. Right,
Right,
where are
okay,
you
you've
going?
got two choices. Choice number one, I go in
Aspect.
with Waif, and the idea is I'm not really, I'm only there as a backup. And if it all goes horrible along, I can emergency jump them through the wall, and at least they can escape.
Yeah, that kind of backup,
Aye, so so that's option one, to walk in with them, or option number two is for carrying a bag with me inside the bag. And then it's just a bag you're carrying. You don't know it's another person.
You mean like a backpack on Quig?
Well,
Quig.
he wants it in his cat form.
Yeah.
Show me a little pretty cat sitting in the bag. So as far as anybody's concerned, it's just you on your own carrying a piece of luggage. And if it all goes horribly wrong, I jump out the bag and I can phase shift everybody through the wall. Basically escape.
Well, we can. That's another option, and I'm good with that.
Okay.
Because I don't want to get into a fight inside some corporate
Pow
headquarters
is cat.
if we can just get the hell out.
Okay, so that Aki. So the question I want to ask is, okay, so Aki, Donahue, and Beulah, you're planning. Well, Beulah's obviously driving you, everyone there. So I'm assuming I'm going to assume the three of you will be in the back with all your gear, ready to provide any hacking support and trying to do any hacking as required.
Yeah.
That's okay. That and Waif is going in the front entrance, and that only leaves Babbyman. What's Babbyman? Where's Babbyman going to do?
Cat.
If they allow him, he will go to talk with the lawyer.
It's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere.
Okay, sounds good to me. Okay, so that would be that. That.
There were
White
some
dwarf.
requirements.
Red dwarf.
So you find yourself outside Metcon Tower, and up ahead you can see there appear to be some security guards and some security defenses. Guards that, you know what I mean. Door was body scanners is the phrase I couldn't think of. From your understanding, Mr. Rowland's office is over here, so you don't need much of the map.
Well, I think Mr. Nakazumi would take the lead.
Indeed. These are basically there are signs up saying no weapons permitted.
Yeah, okay.
Takes the fun out of breaking into.
So there's a sign for it.
Yes.
Is there
What are
any
you
kind
going
of
about?
an actual scan or something?
I don't need you.
To
Put your
enter
back
the
over here.
building, you have to walk through one of two body scanners.
Yeah, no issue
Can I-
there. Babbyman will walk, and it's gonna beep 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 beep.
Well, can I ask you a question though?
So I'm just going to unlock tokens because I can't. I don't. But for some reason, wouldn't let me select your ticks.
Just realised something else now. I'm going to have to ask you a ruling on something.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody is carrying a gun and they cast shape change, gun is absorbed into the shape changed animal. I.e., it's just an animal, isn't it?
Indeed.
So
Sorry.
technically,
Yeah.
That's what she
So
said.
the next question is, would that set the metal detector off?
No, I don't know. Actually, that's a very good question.
It's a
Actually,
very good question.
This is the future. Sorry, no unauthorized weaponry.
Well,
not
I didn't
light
freeze to
weaponry
me.
at all.
Did you freeze to
Unauthorized
you? I don't
weaponry
know.
would be sort of weapons of mass destruction and explosives and things like that. Personal firearms would be allowed, although the safeties will have.
OBS says I didn't freeze, but that doesn't mean it's not right. Reload it and have a look.
I wondered if everybody gave me their gun and a shape change, would that mean that I can get the guns in without going through the sensors?
Theoretically, yes.
Because of my cat.
Yeah. Whether or not they'd let a cat in the building is another matter, of course. Are you in the backpack? Or are you
Not just sitting in the backpack. Won't set off the metal detectors. It's a cat.
So whose backpack are you in?
I think Quig Quig is just going to.
So you're going. Okay, well, you need to cast shape change because obviously it has. Oh, it's got a duration of a while, doesn't it? Anyway.
And I guess the three of us can do this in the van.
Ooh.
That's what we figured. Out in the van.
I figured you'd be in the van. Yes. Right.
I think it was you, Chandra. I think it was you.
Loose.
Okay, so. Pow Pow turns into a cat and it gets inside Queeg's. Yeah. So I'm thinking about it. Is the future? There is an issue with taking weaponry in. It's obviously drawing weaponry or anything else, and discharging weaponry is different to actually carrying it. You are allowed to have. You are allowed to carry weaponry, and I'm sure you've all got the permits for it. Obviously, that's part of your logistic points, fake permits for illegal firearms. But they are doing toxicology sweeps and biological sweeps, it would appear. But anyway. So, who wants to go through the scanner first?
As I said, Waif and Mr. Nakazumi, because this is supposedly a business deal that we're negotiating between us.
Okay.
And Quig would follow them.
Yep, go through. There's no problems. You then have to go up the escalators. To that. We'll say that's the up one. That's the down one.
I'm not playing that card. I'm just showing it.
You technically have to.
No, it's not fair.
So his office was here?
Up the stairs and on the left, yeah. Why is that? Oh, because of that. That's annoying. How? There must be a way to reset the. Yeah, set the card counter. One. There we go. I knew there was a way to do it. Well, it's up to you guys. As I say, there's advantages and disadvantages. So, and are you just planning to hack in direct, or are you on backup? What's the plan? So, while everyone's walking through the security things and up to the entrances there, up to.
So there's no issues.
Apparently not. No. So I when I said I retconned my statement about no weapons because I thought about it logically and it doesn't work and it will bugger up so many other adventures. So. So what's Donahue and Aki and Buell up to in the van at the moment? All seems quiet.
Planning to sneak in through their security into the business's security. Sorry, into the business's network so we can access this lawyer's servers and such.
Right. So I'm too curious. Do any of those utilities? There isn't. You still need to have research, don't you? Because none of those utilities replace research.
I've got research.
But that's fine. I know. Don't worry about that. So I'm going to say that. I'm going to be nice and give you that really high roll you got earlier. Let you work out which nodes you need to access.
Okay, knock off a Benny then, because I've got my Benny back that I spent.
That's fine. I don't care. I'm sure I should have given you some by now. You get to the door, Waif, and it's obviously locked at this hour, but obviously you press the intercom button. So
do we need a notice utility?
We're out in the van, hacking into the computer.
Analyze node, personal icon, etc.
Yeah, but that's the point. If you load a utility, you don't need to use the skill. You could use hacking instead. That's the
that is the skill. That's what I mean. That's the skill.
Yeah.
Hacking's for everything.
Exactly.
But you don't get to roll it. You don't get to roll it without a utility.
So, okay. So all of these are actions, but we don't need to worry about that. So, you've isolated the node for the business. So what are you planning?
Andrew's not getting any more. Every time she tries to snog someone,
Make
they
him a
turn
bitch.
into a fucking cat.
Yeah, so actions inside, analyze node persona icon, attack persona or
Watch Hungry
eyesight persona,
Panther.
improvise utility, jack out or load end utility. This is the bit I can't work out. How do you get in?
Well, that's kind of like walking through a door. I mean, if you've got the access, as long as there's nothing locking you out, you just walk through the door.
Exactly. But that's the thing. Obviously, if you've got a passcode, you can get in. So it is that's what I'm trying to get my head around at the moment. How the hell do you find a passcode? Sorry. Obviously, up to now, we've just hacked your way in, but obviously that sets off stuff. So if the operator is in possession of a legitimate or faked passcode, then the following actions do not require a roll and do not generate points on the alarm scale. So if you've got a passcode, then you can do the actions within the system or node. But how do you get the passcode?
That's if you like physically recover it or steal it or something.
I would agree with that, yes. So if you don't have a passcode, how do you get through the front door? Do you see what I'm getting at?
Hacking. It's just, but it'll set off. What page are you? Were you looking at?
Well, ironically, I'm just getting the actions in cyberspace because it's interesting. None of them actually. There's no action there. There's actually hacking, which I find fascinating. Do you see what I mean?
Wouldn't be like a hacking roll against the node's toughness.
I would have said it has to be a hacking road against the
manipulate or
system. Yes.
control the port.
Yeah. So it's slow burn system ratings. Nodes and therefore systems have a system rating given in the form of a dice. Hacking systems exist. So the system rating limits the rating of the ice in the system. Ice can only be one rating higher. So the system rating is the basis to calculate the system's toughness. The system's derived stat defend against attempted manipulations. So personas and ice are dealt action cards. So that's fine. This is my argument, you see. So then systems in cyberspace. So is it just hacking to brute force your way in? I think it is, isn't it?
That's what I assumed.
I think without a passcode, it's just hacking to brute force your way through the front door, as it were. But
right, which a failure would result in increasing the alarm level.
I agree. Yes. So I'm going to say that obviously Metcom, your 21 got you through your Metcom nodes earlier, and that's how you got into you've got all the information there. We're going to give this security law firm a D8, which basically means your target number would be 6, wouldn't it? 2 plus half a D8.
Okay.
It's actually easier if you draw a little line map and you have the access nodes obviously the front door, and then you have a data icon, and then obviously if you hack that, there's an action for hacking the data node, and then there'll be another node that'll be a device node. And if you hack that, you get to view the cameras or whatever's attached to the device port.
Exactly, but this is just a law firm, so. You're not trying to get into the corporation. That would be a whole different ballgame. You're just trying to get into this. So the system's toughness is 6.
Okay. The two other are Bula and Aki supporting me.
It really depends. If they support, then obviously you're the only one getting in, and they can support you on other actions. If they want to break in themselves, you could all 3 break in at once. But obviously that would greatly increase the amount of alarms, because each of you will be generating alarms on on the system, as it were, potentially.
Well, and he just played his team card, so.
Well, he said he wasn't actually playing it.
I was just showing it to you, but I can play the team card because then we get double on on support rolls.
Indeed.
You want to do that? Because then we can support each other.
It does, but do you want to use it on just getting in the front door, or you want to save that to when you think
it's
you really
only
need
for
it?
a round.
Yeah, save it for when the shit hits the fan. Yeah.
And bearing in mind, you get with multi-action, you can take up to 3 actions in a single round. Don't forget. But
I figured they'd be able to follow in behind me.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm doing all this discussion because once we get it discussed, we'll have a framework for how we're going to do hacking going forwards, and we'll never have to have this discussion again. So I apologise, it's a bit chatty today, but I'm just trying to get.
That's all right.
You know,
we're all learning, so that's all good.
We all learn it together. So yeah, okay. So I agree. If I'm going to have more complicated systems, there will be all sorts of interesting nodes, and we'll have all that worked out. But for today, it's just breaking into a single node. So to get through the front door without a passcode, and obviously that is another ball game. You can start going down in the future to get passcodes and stuff. It is a straightforward hacking roll to brute force your way through the front door.
And so we're going to support. We roll support roll, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Two E's can support another. We can make the skill roll.
So that'll be a +1 from Beulah.
They doubled this round because of his card.
Yeah, he was just examining it.
Yeah,
it's only good for one round, so
I've not used it yet.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so that you get to make a hacking check at +2. The idea is you two have linked your cyberdex into Donahue, so Donahue's doing all the main stuff. You are just giving support roles, if that makes sense. Which means you are giving you're sort of putting all your eggs in one basket, but you're minimising the amount of alarm triggers you guys would set off if all three of you went in at once. So obviously, Donahue, you have no problems at all. You get straight through without any problems at all. And you get yourselves inside. Back in the real world, the doors unlock.
Back in the real world,
you're able to enter the office.
I won't do it today, but for the hacking rules, is you get an alarm point for every action you take.
I know.
So it's the minimum number of actions you need to take.
I know. Oh, believe me,
I know all that bit. Before the enemy discovers.
That's why I was asking if all three of them were going in, because 2 people assisting 1 person hacking, that's only 1 alarm point. The 3 of you successfully getting in, that's 3 alarm points. You don't know how many alarm points it is before the system activates.
You have to remember there's no spoon.
There is no spoon.
That's all down to me. Which is interesting because I have to be honest, the alarm point is the most basically. There's one paragraph saying they have alarms, and here's one example, and it's really up to you to do the rest. So anyway, okay, so going inside, as you head inside the office, you see that there does appear to be a large number of desks. Some of the screens appear to be on with screensavers. Some of the screens appear to be off. You gather that's where I forgot what they're called.
Wage types.
Security.
Not attorneys. What's below attorneys? What are the
interns?
Hiring interns,
secretaries.
Paralegals.
Paralegals.
Paralegals, yeah, the paralegals. Thank you. The paralegals would sit along with along with, as you say, interns and secretaries. At the moment, though, that doesn't appear to be the case. There seems to be, as you come into the office, it appears to be relatively empty, except for 2 rather large troll individuals. They seem to both be lounging in chairs. Actually, I forgot to take the towels off. Oh well. They've still got their towels on, but they're in very tightly fitting for them business suits. They just seem to be just quietly just watching you. From what you understand, basically they seem to be gesturing that you head towards the office right there, which obviously has a sign off it saying Rollings, I should say. I've forgotten his full name. I know one of you made a note of it.
Does the door open or close?
It basically opens as you approach it.
And Waif and Mr. Nakazumi will step inside. And
Rollings Law. Yeah, Rollings Law. I'm having real click fun and games today. Right, back to you guys. Okay, so you have basically got through the front door. and you are inside the legal firm's security inside their node.
Krieg goes in behind Mr. Nakasumi, assuming he's allowed to. If not, then he'll be standing right at the door.
Probably, yeah. You'll probably be sort of, you could get in there. It's not a problem. Back to the cyber world. You are within the system. So,
okay, so what are we looking for then? We want to look for specifics on this guy, or have we got to break in through? We've got to do some more.
Well, that's the point. What are you looking for?
His files to see who email, all that kind of stuff. So I'm assuming a research or a notice role.
I would say so, yes.
And I have the notice part to my deck, so that should help.
I guess that would let you roll your hacking instead of notice to support.
Theoretically speaking, it should, yes. So it gives you a +1.
So you get a +1 there.
That looks like a +2. Yep.
+2 to me. Did you give it a notice utility then?
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, I haven't got a notice utility.
You have to use research, but it's the same. It's which is actually the same dice anyway, isn't it? You're hacking and researching both D8, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's still a +2. That's fine.
Okay.
So rolling research.
It's research if you don't have the notice, isn't it? Basically.
I don't have the notice utility, no.
No, that's fine. So it'd be research. But you're getting +3 on it, so you should be okay. Which you do. Okay. You basically start analysing through. There seems to be lots of interesting deals there. You do find a whole encrypted file area containing numerous files that all seem to be all headed up. Basically, I forgot what I said. Yeah, basically labelled up, all with a file ID tag hotdog, which you assume is obviously the tag they're using for this area.
Arse. It wasn't me.
So that will allow you to edit, copy, and erase data. So successful hacking against the system toughness will basically allow you to start copying the data. Then the only fun in games is how much storage you have, which actually would be a separate bit of kit, isn't it? You can play. It depends where you put storage. Did you get storage? Did you keep storage on your cyberware?
I have a data jack.
Yeah. So you literally, you plug the data jack into the cyber deck is what I'm trying to say, because you can plug it into yourself or into a cyber deck, obviously. So yeah, so you can start copying the data off, which would again be that's just a hacking roll against system toughness, which we already know is 6. Back in the real world, Mr. Rawlings greets everyone. He's a bit taken aback by the numbers arrive, and he's saying to you, "Well, yes. So I gathered that you wish to work out a legal transfer of ownership of a food establishment. I'm just intrigued and curious." I'm just curious on why you've come to me. Obviously, I just want to understand if it was my advertising revenue or word of mouth. Obviously, this information is important to me, and therefore, obviously, I know where to invest more of my money in future to drum up more business. Because you're most welcome. So he looks expectantly at all of you.
Just mention that my adoptive father referred us to him. I'm not sure if he's ever done business or it's by reputation, but he was told he was a relatively good real estate attorney.
Well, intriguing stuff. I see. Well, oh yes, I see. I don't recall ever doing any business. But anyway, yeah. So, okay. So, please give me the details. What's the location of the establishment and everything else, and need proof of ownership and everything else, and then we can start. We could process all of this right now. It's not a problem at all.
Well, Mr. Nakazumi will present him with whatever he requires legally wise, commenting on the fact that he's just getting old and it's getting to be more trouble than it's worth.
Boom.
He's ready to retire.
Indeed. Okay, on announcing the location, Mr. Rollins sort of has a slight twitch. You pick up on. He goes, "Oh, that's interesting." I happen to at this point he says, "This is not exactly what I would deem normal maneuvers, but I happen to be dealing with a number of transactions for a third party who is looking to buy up food retail outlets in that area, and is prepared to pay you at 50% above the going rate." And to say, I'm not trying to muscle. He looks over at you, Wafer. He says, "I'm not trying to muscle you out of this deal after all. I just feel that it's only fair to give Mr. Nagasaki Nakazumi all the pertinent information. But if he is looking to sell his property."
Well, Mr. Nakazumi's preference is to sell it to his old friend who will keep the character of the place that he worked so hard to build intact.
Well, indeed, I can understand that. But as I say, I mean, if you're looking for retirement and all that, obviously 50% above the going rate for the value of the land there is not to be sniffed at. But as I say, I'm not trying to muscle you out of the deal. I just want to make sure that if Mr. Nakazumi signs me on as his lawyer for the purchase of his property, that he has all the pertinent facts.
Bobby Man thinks 50% sounds large.
Well, indeed, but as I say, the other party I'm helping represent in the area is quite eager to acquire food outlet properties in the Barrens.
Mr. Nakazumi is going to shrug and tell him that his money has no value against his old friendship with Transfer.
Well, indeed. Well, okay, I understand. So, if we can get all your if you wish to take me on as your lawyer, Mr. Nakazumi, we just have to fill out all these forms here, and once you've taken me on as your lawyer, then we can start. Then I can turn to. He looks at you, Waif, and says, "Then we can start the process of transferring the funds." Okay, back to the cyber world, which obviously everything happens much faster, but obviously it still takes you time to analyze everything. Just need a hacking roll to copy the data onto your data jack. You could just copy it in encrypted form. You don't need to decrypt it before you copy it. It obviously gives you the ability to deal more with it later.
Okay. Am I able to get assist supported on that?
That's a support roll.
That's a +2.
Okay, and I'm sorry, and it's the hacking roll.
Yeah.
You got me reading the book now at the same time, right? So,
yeah, we will have a discussion offline, and we'll thrash out some coherent.
Well, I mean, that's part of what we're doing, right? Is we're trying
Yes.
something new, and we just sort of have to kind of go through this sometimes. So
Exactly. I mean, the thing I like about Sprawl Runners is it's a framework, and obviously you can build on it how you want, and that's obviously what we're doing. Okay, you're going to get +3 here. Which again, that's absolutely fine. With the +3, you're able to start the download of the encrypted data. Okay.
And I do have the other one. Then the other utility I have is the decrypting. So once that should help.
I have that too.
Yeah.
Well,
So
there you go.
break the encryption of scramble. Yeah. So basically, I'd say you don't necessarily have to do that while logged in my opinion. If you copy the encrypted data down, you should. You can spend time encrypting it. Yeah, exactly. So it's only if you actually need to basically work out what data you need. The only time you need to be online and decrypt it is obviously when you need to when there's too much data for you to download, and obviously you need to find exactly what's going on.
Or you just want to change something and not actually take it.
Exactly, even better. Yes, I couldn't agree more. So Mr. Nakazumi basically finishes all the legal forms and documentation as required.
I'm going to interrupt here because Waif is going to start a little bit of a whisper conversation with Mr. Nakazumi, telling him maybe he should at least hear this other guy's offer, maybe negotiate a way to keep the ramen place intact instead of having it just changed into something else, etc. Because that's a lot of money to pass up, and he's a friend of the family as well as.
Exactly.
So he would naturally be looking out for him, although he's probably a grumpy old man just like Master Jang.
Well, at this point again, Roland seems to be quite intrigued. He goes, "Well, as I say, I can certainly act on the third parties, but I can act as your lawyer. I can act on the intermediary's third party's behalf. Obviously, it'd be a conflict of interest. Quite unethical for me to be a lawyer for both parties. But as I say, I'm obviously due to my location here. I'm facilitating for the third party, and yes, I will give me so I'll quite happily get some more information off for you, and I can contact them now if you're interested, Mr. Nakazumi.
Knowing that they're out there hacking, Waif is going to go, Mr. Nakazumi, you should at least hear them all.
Right. Well, okay. Back in the virtual world, all the hacking's almost the downloading of the data's pretty much there. You basically, you've got the data, and all you need to do is get out when.
Well, do we want to get out, or do we want to see what he does after?
Yeah, we want to signal them that he's going to make a phone call to his other party and to see if they can follow that phone call.
Okay, that sounds like okay, that's going to be manipulate a device port, I would say. So you basically you get a text through. So I'm going to say that we'll treat that as a manipulate a device port. So that's a hacking roll against the system's toughness. That will allow you to modify the code so that any data that's transmitted will also be outputted to your console as well as the third party, along with with a locator packet.
Okay.
So go for it. That's a +1.
Bueller.
Bueller takes time on his code. He thinks it through properly and always gets the better result for it. +3.
Support is for one action or for me for the next round? I forget.
For your next trait roll, which will be your hacking roll now, as it were, for the manipulating the device ports. You've got a +3.
Okay.
To try to trace this call that he's going to make out to his other.
Exactly. Yeah.
He's going to make it while we're sitting right here.
Indeed, he seems to be. He's tapping into his system. He's logging on as we speak. So that would be just a nice hacking roll +3 from Donahue to manipulate the device port to add in the ability to track the call.
I think I'm going to do a multi. Just a minute.
I think he's having a coughing fit, poor chap. A multi-action, you'll get the +3 on the first action of the multi-action. I think we lost it. Ah.
Okay. Sorry, I needed a drink.
That's okay.
I think I'm going to do multi-action and load stealth while I track and trace his call and such.
Go for it.
I've got stealth on mine already.
I am rolling, and I do have the stealth thing, so I'll be using hacking for that.
Okay. So basically, you get +3 on your first roll, which will probably be your stealth roll then, and then you'll, so it'll be, well, if you think about it, it'll be a +1 -2 on your 2 rolls. If you think about it.
Well, does the support actually support him swapping out his programs, or does it? Just
I've already got the stealth thing
attempt?
on mine already. Does it count if it's running on mine already?
Well, I see what you're saying. The support roll for that one, no, I think you get a bonus on the one you want to use it on. So the problem is you can't. Well, I'm saying you can't use yours. You can't use your.
I'm getting confused.
I am getting confused. What were you trying to do? So I was reading someone's peppering tons of actual bloody interesting questions about material or materiel in bloody chat. And I was reading that instead of listening to you. I'm going to ignore chat for the rest of the day. Sorry, what was that?
Yeah, that was for later on. That wasn't for now.
Yeah, essentially what I'm doing is the hide from ice persona thing while I'm tracking the thing. So
yeah,
both of that looks like both of them supported me for. Oh no, wait! I see he rolled twice.
He did, yeah. Yeah. So
So
what I'm trying to say is, if you want to multi-action, so basically, if you want to multi-action because obviously time's against you because he's logging onto the system, then technically speaking, you'll get a +3 bonus on your hide from ice or persona.
Okay.
And then no modifiers on the other one. But obviously the reason, so yeah, exactly, multi-action +3. So yeah, that is not going to beat the that's not going to beat the system toughness. That you need a 6. I shouldn't tell you that, but I'm not sure. Actually, that's an interesting. I know. That's another thing we'll have to think about later.
Send
Should
another
you
penny.
need system toughness?
One more Benny.
I mean, at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, the system will.
If you drag the Benny onto the hacking roll, it'll re-roll it automatically.
Yeah, but if you don't want to, you don't have to. But
yeah, I'm just letting him know just in case it isn't.
There we go. That's better.
That's better. Okay, so you sneak past the ice, and from other personas, you succeed on the hacking roll. So that's absolutely fine. So you, whatever you're, basically, what obviously that's manipulating the logs and everything else as well.
So now I try to hack. Now I try to track hacking as well.
Agreed. Nice. You made it.
All right.
Okay, you turn on the hacking. So that's all very good. Okay. Okay, so basically what I will say is at this point, you do notice, you do get a warning up that a access ice has been activated on the network. It's not actively tracking. It's just basically, it's obviously that it's been activated on the network, but obviously that's all that's happening. It's just sort of the system's loaded up and access ice, as obviously he thinks maybe something's going on. In the meantime, back in the real world, Rollins it starts up the communication. It just seems to be pure text-based communication. The feedback he gives you is obviously the information that he's contacting them. From your perspective, up in the virtual world, what it seems to be going on is, yes, he is opening up a conflict. So he just says he's sitting here with the owner of one of the food shops in the Barrens. The information coming back is what's the asking price, and the Rollins is going back with the details on that. In the meantime, you've got your trace. You've got your like 3D network map up of the city, and you can see it being bounced around quite a few nodes. It's obviously quite someone's obviously trying quite hard to hide their destination, but so Rollins comes back with interestingly enough, because I'm assuming you are able to communicate with each other. Interesting, the figure he tells the third party is higher than the figure he's been discussing with Waif and Mr. Nakazumi. So he's obviously trying to skimp some money off the top for himself. And basically, the information comes back basically saying it will take a bit of time to organize the money, to sort the money out. We should basically arrange another virtual meeting in 2 days to finalize the purchase. And around the same time this happens, you finally get a ping on a location, on the source location. It appears to be a sort of it seems to be located in the Barrens. Obviously, you'll be able to track the location down with a bit more information later, but that gets you the tracking back. Rollins comes back going, well, the third party appears to be quite interested. He seems quite amenable to the price we discussed. He just needs to transfer some funds around and requests if we could have another meeting in 2 days to finalize the purchase.
Mr. Nakazumi is going to point out that he hadn't actually agreed to he wanted to hear their offer, but that he'd like to go back and talk to his old friend Zhang anyway.
Well, exactly. Obviously, 2 days in 2 days' time, they can well, obviously, he goes on the price he's obviously been talking about which is 50% more than Mr. Nakazumi came in with to begin with, and obviously he says, obviously, yes, understandable. As I say, we've got 2 days.
Well, is he willing to schedule an appointment right now for when we come back?
Well, it says basically, if I pencil in an appointment for, and he does give a time in office hours, obviously, so it's like midday, 2 days' time.
I'll thank him for his time and his offer.
So we'll meet. He says we'll have a virtual conference so you can talk face to face with the buyers, indicating the conference room behind him.
With that, we'll thank him for his time and tell him that we're going to go discuss this. And if Mr. Nakazumi will let him know his decision before the meeting.
Okay. Can I have notice checks from Beulah, Donahue, and Aki, please? This is cyber notice, as it were, rather than real life notice. I will ignore the multi-action. Don't worry.
Oh, should it be a normal notice roll or another roll then?
No, as in notice, as in you notice something. But I'm saying it's not like what I'm saying is if you notice something while analysing the logs, because I'm assuming this is movie land hacking where there's lots of text going by and strange 3D symbols, shapes that mean absolutely nothing in the real world, but always seem to take place in hacking movies.
Yeah, so it's like Tron mixed with the Matrix and a bit of a.
Exactly.
A motorbike just went zooming past. What the fuck?
Basically, what you've just detected is the Metcon network, not the system you're on, because it's a separate network, but obviously because you're routed through it, the Metcon system network has just released black ices. This doesn't appear to be anything related to you. It looks like something else is going down.
Okay, can we see what it's doing? Can we?
Well, what you do notice is that it appears to have released black ices, and the Metcon network seems to be shutting down all access points. It looks like they're taking down the whole network.
Ah. Okay.
Time to get out, I think.
Do we get the rest of them lot to leave then, shall we? You scheduled a new appointment, and if you've got getting back to the van.
Yep. That's what we would have done.
And we'll stay hacked into the system as long as we can before the ice comes.
At which point you hear gunfire from outside. All of you hear gunfire from outside.
Well, since we were already had set the appointment and we're preparing to leave.
Yeah.
I think we'll go ahead and
Was
continue.
any bullets ricocheting off of our van?
I'm assuming we're not that close.
Look at that, 3 jokers in a row, which is unfortunate because I don't need a penny for that. So that's Rawlings doesn't need to be on the tracker; he can go on hold. Rawlings suddenly dives under his desk. It's like, oh no, not again! He dives under his desk.
Is it more Earth Eco terrorists?
Apparently, it looks like it's all kicking off outside.
Yeah, Mother Earth eco terrorists. Here they go again.
They're a backdoor.
Apparently not.
We can flank them.
Well, but it's not our fight. We came here to do business, and unless Mr.
Jeepers creepers. They are dishing out big amounts of damage out there.
Am I assuming the front of our van is where it says P for Patreon and the arse end is where we're sitting, yeah? So we can open the back doors without them seeing us, maybe?
Yeah, I think you should be able to do that without any problems, yep.
Okay, that's what we're going to do then. That's what I'm going to do.
Do we have an advantage of gaining the favor of Mr. Rollins?
We might do, innit? They've just killed all 3 security guards outside, or put them out. They're incapacitated.
Indeed.
And we've got some grenades. Merlin's got a grenade on him, hasn't he?
No, not anymore. Actually, no, I take it back. I do have 1 left.
Yeah, I've got a grenade on me.
I'll just get rid of these ones out of the way. I wasn't expecting to get a joker, but that doesn't matter.
I see a street mage on the map. What's a street mage?
What do you mean, what's a street mage? Street mage is a street mage. That brings us to Beulah.
It's a mage that's not directly associated with any corporation.
Yes.
Ah, see? I don't know these things.
All right, well, Beulah gets out of the van, I guess.
Awesome. Hello, Jack. How are you?
We can't leave people here, so.
Yeah, I would recommend just sitting tight, guys.
At this moment, we're just all innocent bystanders.
Well, indeed.
Come here,
we'll
breath
put Beulah
camel.
on hold because he's got the joker. Aki, do you want to go on hold as well?
Our knowledge of eco-terrorists tells us that
I'm going to get out of the. I'm going to come out of the van at the back of the van.
Yep.
And just have a little peek, see what they're doing. I'm not going to. How many? I can see what there's loads of them, isn't there? So I don't want to get. Yeah, I don't want to engage them.
Going on there, huh?
Yes, definitely. As I say, they seem to be storming somewhere rather than. Well, they seem to be storming the building rather than being involved with you lot.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just gonna. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do nothing but step out the van. Really, I don't know if that counts as an action, but yeah.
Let's try that again. There you go. Oh well, the van's now parked at a funny angle, but there's your. Let's undo that. There's your van. Are you happy now?
Thanks very much.
Okay, Mr. Nakazumi basically dives under the desk. The last security guard comes running round the corner through the security thing, which sets it off, and he opens fire with his rapid fire Hashiman 9mm. hitting once, twice, in fact. Killing one of the terrorists, by incapacitating one of the terrorists. Brings us to Queeg with Pow Pow still in the backpack.
Yeah, I think all I'm going to do at the moment is pull the backpack off, but I will not let the cat out of the bag yet. And go on hold.
Okie dokie. Bodyguard number 2.
I am kind of making the assumption that when he held his pistol, he was also holding my broom.
Yeah. Bodyguard number 2 reaches inside his coat, pulls out an SMG, and starts moving towards the door. That brings us to Merlin. Bodyguard number 2's drawn an SMG. He doesn't pick, you don't get the impression he's coming for you, Merlin, but you know what I mean.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't draw a gun and then run at the guy you're shooting unless you are shooting as you do so. So Merlin is going to step into the doorway here. He is going to cast lots of armor around. So let me going here. The cat's in the bag. Can I still cast on the cat?
You know he's there. I don't see why not.
Okay. In that case, we've got. Let me get my modifiers here. Come here. Dum 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 dum. So we're gonna hurry. So that's 1. 3 is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I will use 9 of my. I should have.
I don't know how well this will work. I'll give it a try. I forgot to do it earlier. Give it a try. Yeah, I should have done that instead of telling you what you can hear.
That's nice. That's a new feature.
But yeah. I'll have to work some more out. It seems to work. I don't want it too much because obviously you guys are talking. So you have successfully cast deflection on who?
Basically everybody that's in the office, and they also have the hurry modifier.
I'm going to start making custom effects, I think, because you like that. You like the hurry modifier.
Oh, I do. The hurry, the hitcher, the glow, the shroud, all of those.
Okay, so I'm going to make a new one and we'll call this Merlin's shield. Merlin's shield. So that is at attack -2, because I can always change him afterwards, can't I? And then pace +2. That's. Did you do any others?
No, that's it for this one.
Okay, so let's put an underscore on that one. So we'll I've created a custom one. I think that should show up in other people's. So you're casting that on. I take it you're only casting it on yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not casting it on Rollins. Just our group in the office.
Okay, so that would be Mr. Nakazumi, Queeg, Pow Pow, Waif, and yourself. There we go.
Yes.
Wonderful stuff.
And then I will finish my move by moving back over this direction a little bit. Sounds like it's time to get out of here, guys. Let's go.
Okay. Where is the where is he? I've lost him. There he is. He's quite augmented, this chap. He literally runs up the down escalator without any problems at all. Literally, his cybernetic legs go pounding up as he runs up the corridor. Brings us to Waif.
I'm gonna tell Mr. Nakazumi to stay here with Rollins where it's safe, and she's gonna run out there to see what's going on.
Okay.
We technically don't know who's there yet.
No, you just know there's gunfire. You can just hear some interesting stuff going on outside. That sort of a thing.
Door, and I can see the guy coming.
Yep.
And since I did run the run thing, it'll automatically factor in. I'm going to. I recognize the eco terrorist. I'm going to center myself, and I'm going to shoot him.
It does seem to be. It does seem to be just one of these unfortunate things of you happen to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But you shoot him anyway.
Maybe.
9mm pistol. And you shake him.
I feel it in my finger. I feel it in my nose.
Okie dokie. The other body. Did I move the wrong bodyguard the first time? I did. Well, the other bodyguard will now move in the place of this one, and he will run. He will literally get to the door. And that's all he'll do. That gets us to Donahue in the van.
I've got to turn this fucking thing off. Options.
Okay, now there is, if I understand correctly, I am in Roland's Law Firm's node.
Yes.
And I need to exit into the building's general node before I can exit cyberspace.
You can just jack out, can't you?
Oh, I can?
You can jack out without suffering dump shock. You don't have to roll, but it takes an action. You may jack out without caring about jump shock as a free action, but you need to succeed on a vigor roll -2 or 1 dump shock. So basically, you can literally, all you do is literally just disconnect. You won't have tidied up the fact you've been in there or anything else. But if you want to, as it were, but you did successfully do the hide from ice earlier on, which to my mind was you making sure that you were covering the log, the logging anyway. So you can literally, as an action, just jack out.
Okay, so I don't need to cover up the fact I've been in here.
Well, it's up to you.
In which case I'm going to try and do it clear.
Yeah.
I'll try and cover up that I've been here.
Yeah,
Okay.
do that, because we'll cover the van while you're doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, so I will say that will be, we'll treat that as another hide from persona, because that's, well, that's actually not, no, you'd be modifying the node, wouldn't you? You'd be, modifying the device port. So you'd literally going back into the log files to make sure there's nothing in there, which is a straightforward hacking attempt against the system toughness.
I'll Benny that.
Who's Ashley Kane? Google bullshit fucking news I don't even want.
Oh, Bueller just dropped.
Someone I'd never heard of died.
I said jack out. I didn't mean literally, mate.
I guess I am not going to do a very good job of clearing out my...
Well,
no problem at all.
You rolled a 4, that should be an okay job.
But it's target number 6.
Oh.
Target number 6.
You got no bennies left?
We spent a couple. So anyway, basically, at the same time, though, the on system ice doesn't notice anything, but that's fine. That brings us to Babby Man. Oh, who I forgot to put Merlin's shield on. Hang on a second. I need to go back up to Merlin on Merlin's shield.
Beard.
That should not be. I forgot to put a modifier on that. So let's just bugger. Right, go back down to Babby Man. It's okay. I'll work something out on the. I forgot. I'll sort that one out now. I was trying to be clever, but 5 turns.
Babby Man, thanks you for your chair. Gets up and
The worst Jamaican accent.
There. And
I am Groot. I am
so
Groot.
how does Merlin look like?
Groot,
You said
Groot.
that he should have some kind of spell, so he casts a spell.
He casts a spell on you, and I forgot to give it to you. So there you are. It's on you. And
He casts a spell on you.
If you remember, you've got that thing where you're encased in
am
light,
Groot.
and then it
I am
shrinks
Groot.
down until it forms
I'm
like
Groot.
a sigil on your chest.
Okay. So I go to him, I tap him on the shoulder, and like,
I'm Groot.
good man, whatever
Groot.
it is that you are doing, you're
Groot.
doing it very well. And I will try to make him feel good about himself.
I like that'd be a nice persuade one. Oh, that's a +2 on your next trait roll, Mr. Merlin, sir.
I'm Groot.
Yep. And
Coolness.
As Baby Man makes you feel good about yourself for all intents and purposes. Ruling stays high on the ground. Mr. Nakazumi stays high on the ground. Wave gets to go first. Oh, Queeg, sorry, you're on hold. Beulah, you're still on hold, weren't you, from last week?
Yeah, I'm
We'll
just
deal with you
waiting
guys
to
first.
find out what's happening. But
Beulah
looking
was
at the
gonna-
tracker, it didn't look like Wave had the Merlin shield on.
Yeah, but Wave should have the Merlin shield on, but it's not showing up, is it, for some reason? Sorry, Beulah. You were talking, we talked over you
Up
again.
in my run because it increased my pace.
Yeah.
Beulah got bounced, but the Beulah was going to hop out and take a shot at. Wanted to stay near the van, but would take a shot at one of the terrorists.
Okie dokie. So you will hop out. I will deal you a card for this round. In the meantime, you're going twice in a row. Nice. So in the meantime, what you're going to do is you're going to hop out and take a shot at one of the terrorists. Be my guest.
Okay, I just need to see the map again.
Hang on, there it is. Yeah, I was going to say, when I said you could jack out, you didn't need to take me at the literal and jack out of FantasyGrounds and Discord completely, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. Sometimes it craps out, but I'll be off.
There you go. Actually, I do have a jacket. I do have a jacking in sound effect. Bit ethereal, that one. Okay. So actually, that's a. Oh, you did it as a. You did that using shooting rather than your combat tab, which is okay. That's fine. Okay, so you hit with a raise, and then you get to roll for damage. And I'm giving you a manual Joker bonus because you did actually have the Joker last round, but I forgot to let you. Right, so you got disconnected. So he goes down, and then it's back to you again. So now you get to act again this round, if that makes sense. So that was your last round with the Joker. Now you're acting again on the Ace of Spades. For all intents and purposes, it's like you get to go twice in a row.
I'm looking at my thing. It's showing that I've got Pow Pow's information because I've got domestic cat form. I'm pretty sure that's not me.
Oh, I give up. I cannot do the drag and drops today.
You've turned into a cat, wife.
A stray cat.
I'm having all sorts of fun and games with drag and drops today. There we go.
I'm going to add insult to injury. I wonder if it's the right one.
Everyone's disconnecting, reconnecting today. We're having all sorts of interesting issues.
Yeah, instead of freeze, locks up sometimes.
Okay, you shoot a second one, shaking him. That's a pistol
Shake,
shot. Oh,
red and roll.
I've been paying attention. I could even done the nice sound effects for that as you opened fire. It's on a separate computer, so Okay, you shake him, so it's a little more fiddly. I did get it for the sound effects and background stuff, but actually, I think actually having it working in the background half the time would be more annoying than just having silence when you guys are trying to talk. But now I know I've got it working. I'll try it later. Waif with Merlin's shield.
She's going to move over to the top of the escalator because I've got the extra pace this time.
Yes, you do.
To try to get an idea of what's going on down in the atrium, but she's still going to take another shot at the one that she already shook.
Okie dokie. And Benny to unshake him.
Oh, I'm going to Benny the damage.
Okay. Oh, I spent the Benny to unshake the wrong one. Idiot.
Yeah, I rolled the exact same thing twice in a row.
Okay, so I actually meant to unshake him.
Oh, wait, the first time wounded him. I didn't need to spend that Benny.
Well, you didn't, because I technically thought, right, you're shooting him. I'll spend a Benny to unshake him. So by shooting him, you shake him again. So
I'm in a position to be able to look down. I'm presuming this is an atrium like down at the entryway.
Yes.
The escalators go up out of, so I can see down in there now.
Yeah, as far as I'm concerned, you can. Yeah. Okay, Street Mage comes charging out. Sees what's going on. He seems to recognise the guy you've been shooting at, and he basically well, that'd be him. Oh, you can't multi-bolt anymore, can you? It's 3 actions to bolt now. He basically starts. He starts.
Where are you, combat tracker?
Gesturing with his hands and muttering stuff, and this bolt of energy comes streaking out, but unfortunately, it phases out of existence before it reaches his target. Mr. Donahue, sir, you think you're not. You think you've done a fairly good job with the well, you've done the best you can with the logs, but you have a horrible feeling that if someone knows what they're doing, they may well be able to get back in. But unfortunately, it would appear that obviously the network ports are being shut down, but obviously this is external to where you are, if that makes sense. You think you need to get out now before you suffer jump shock if the network goes down with you jacked in.
That's what I'm planning to do. I jack out.
Okay, that's just an action to jack out, so that's fine. You can obviously still do if you can technically multi-action by jacking out and doing something else as well if you want to, but I've noticed you've ended your turn, so that's absolutely fine. Bodyguard number 2 steps through the door, and he just takes up a defensive position outside the door. He doesn't actually seem to. He sees what's going on out there, but he doesn't seem to take an active role in anything. It seems to, obviously, as long as all this action's going on at another business in the same building, he doesn't seem. He's obviously not paid enough to intervene. Aki.
Yeah. Sorry, run downstairs quickly. I'm going to run there, or just walk there.
Okay.
I'm not even going to run. I'm just going to walk slowly.
Yep. Yep. Accept your move.
And then I'm going to shoot him with my gun.
Shoot him with your gun.
I'm going to shoot him with my gun. Yes. You son of a bitch. Crazy son of a bitch. Right, this time I'm going to get 2 double sixes. Oh. Okay, I'm not wasting any more bennies. Okay, I missed. Then I'm going to
extreme range.
Then I'm going to go and start crying.
Okay.
And pass to Merlin.
Merlin. With Merlin's shield on everyone.
Merlin is going to. Wow, what is Merlin going to do? That's a good question. I'm not sure I want to. Yeah, Merlin is going to go ahead and dart out here to about there. Look at the smoke coming out of Waif's gun and say, "Why are we fighting these guys?" And he will then cast Smite, magic weapon on her pistol and his bow.
Okay, go for it.
Waif will mutter something about making friends and influencing people.
And I think I'm going to add the armor piercing effect to that.
Armor piercing magic weapons.
So 4 points. Yep, there we go.
Okay, so that is. You've got to open it up, Kevin. Okay, so damage +2, armor AP +2. I think that should work. Find out in a minute. And on Waif as well.
Correct. And that was my turn.
Okie dokie. Security guard, the last surviving security guard. Well, he's
Waif needs the AP2 on hers.
I thought I typed it in. Yeah, AP +2.
I'm not seeing it.
Probably because I haven't tabbed away.
Oh, well, you see.
I hadn't tabbed away. Okay, well, that security guard opens fire, spraying the whole area with bullets with no real effect. And the terrorists are going to fight back, advancing onto him, using their... Ooh. Ooh, he gets a gun jam, which means he will be distracted while attempting to fix his gun. Okay, this one here is literally going to charge past into the atrium, setting off that. Well, actually, the other guy already went through there, so that's already flashing on alarm. This guy is going to remain shaken, so I'm going to spend a Benny to unshake him because I've got Bennies to use, and I can't see me using them in the other way today. And it's which one is it? It's number 5, which is not that one. It's this one. He's going to step across to here. He takes a pot shot at the security guard. Missing. Oh, no. Yeah, missing. That brings us to Babby Man. It's very noisy out there. Lots of gunfire and explosions. That's all the glass shattering from all the security doors.
Mr.
Babby Man.
Are you using Celestian's thing, are you?
So,
what does the bodyguard look like? Like, what is he doing?
He's standing there with an SMG. He doesn't appear to be doing much at the moment. It's very much a case of, I'm going to stop anyone making any moves on the office I'm paid to protect.
If you make a mess, Sam, clean it up.
I'm just going to stand there and watch
Yeah,
it.
because you're not old enough to do that yourself now.
With my incredibly shiny, polished, curled horns.
Yeah, so roughly what I expected. Which means that Babbyman will try to change that.
Okay.
Babylon will basically mechanically try to get him to actually join in and drive them away, these maniacs, by saying that Babbyman sees a big man here. Babbyman sees a purpose. Babbyman sees, smells the corruption of money. Babbyman knows Mr. Guard better. Mr. Guard wants to go and show how he is better than these little puny people. Babbyman knows that Guard will be very successful.
Indeed. It's one of the side effects of Mr. Babbyman that he can fit all of that into 6 seconds. Because obviously, that's how he hears it, but to everyone else, he's able to fit. That's how everyone else hears it. But time-wise, it is compressed. Don't worry, I'm only having fun. Make a persuasion roll, please.
Yep.
I'm not going to stop anyone role-playing ever. I don't care how long it takes. Within reason, obviously, a 10-minute eulogy in the middle of a 6-second combat.
I
round's
have
expensive.
an edge, which
That's
says
six-
that I
You
will.
get
No,
a free
sorry.
roll. Yeah. You get a free re-roll, yeah.
Yeah.
So go for it. 7. Okay, you do in fact influence him, and he does in fact agree with you, and if that works, yeah. Basically, you
Looks like he's feeling small now.
He is. He does appear to have shrunk, doesn't he? They swapped around. I'll stretch him back up again. So I've just shared his character sheet with you. So on next round, because you've convinced him to help, I figured that you can control him.
Okay.
Meanwhile, the other one's just going to come outside and stand the other side of the door, looking all. He will obviously look a bit perplexed when the other one goes wandering off. Okay. The lead terrorist is shaken, so he's very dead.
Do an interrupt.
Be my guest.
All I want to do when I see that last guard run past is step out the door and let Pow Pow out.
Okie dokie. You step out the door and release Pow Pow.
Actually, provide him with the opportunity to come out. If he doesn't want to, I understand.
I haven't got a cat sound effect. I have to find one.
Yeah, so Pow Pow will come out. Pow Pow's somewhat confusing. So everybody's shooting.
Yes.
I take it.
Very much so. And you have forgot to do something. Carry on.
I'm a wee bit perplexed with Mr. Nakanumi on his own. I'm a bit worried about that.
Right here at the door. And you have my broom.
Okay. Tell you what I'm going to do. I am actually going to go on hold.
Okie dokie.
Because I can't cast spells.
Well, you are a pussycat at the moment, aren't you, after all?
I'm a puddy cat, can't talk.
Indeed. Right, this eco-terrorist is going to run again. I've lost him. He's heavily augmented, so off he goes. A bit slower this time. Once he reaches the street mage, he shoots him. Try that again. That looks better.
Street mage called Desire. Marlon Brando.
I'm afraid the street mage doesn't last very long. Once the eco-terrorist reaches him, he then basically appears to be reaching into his backpack and trying to obviously search for an interesting item. So who's on hold? Mr. Nakazumi would stay on hold. Pow Pow, do you wish to stay on hold?
Yes, to the top. I'll go into the next round on hold.
Okay, the next round begins with Benny's all round, it would appear, with Beulah going first with a joker.
Again.
Yeah, you are getting the jokers today, sir. Medium range shot with your pistol. Is that a wound? It is. Another eco-terrorist is shot on the steps of the Metcom building. Yeah. Anything else?
No, Beulah's trying to stay by the truck so that he can hop out the van so he can hop back in and get us out.
No problem at all. In that case, I'll let you end your turn because I'm still trying to learn not to do that. And that'll be the bodyguard, who won't actually do anything. So we'll just skip straight on. He will basically. He's got the Joker. He's got the Joker, but he'll stay on hold with the Joker.
Can I request an interrupt?
Yeah, Waif saw the one that she's been trying to take down, run and kill the street mage, so she's going to first run.
Yep. Pow Pow is requesting an interrupt, so he might. I don't know if he's going to benefit you. So just before you run, Pow Pow, what are you up to?
What Pow Pow was going to do was drop shape change.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you look human again.
Yeah. And then he's going to cast protection. Stacks with Merlin's spell on Babby Man, myself, Wayne, Merlin.
We had a discussion about this, didn't we? It does stack here, but doesn't in part.
Yeah, because he had a deflection bonus and I had armor.
Ah.
Yeah, he calls it mage armor, but it is deflection.
Oh, then in that case, they will stack. Yes, that is correct.
And I get a raise, and I'm casting that with the more armor option.
Yeah, because you're actually affecting the attack rolls against them, whereas this is actually adding armor. With the more armor option, that more armor, 4.6 with a raise. So that's 6 points of armor on Waif and 6 points of armor on who was the other?
6 points on Babby Man, 6 points on me, 6 points on Merlin, 6 points on Waif.
There's Merlin. There we go. My God, you guys are indestructible. And then Waif, you start running as you feel.
And then I stop and I center myself and I take another shot.
Go for it. So you see, you're -2 to hit with 13 points of toughness right now. That's quite impressive.
Oh, I'm cool with anything.
Although a decent AP and you'd be in trouble. That's a hit. With your pistol. I really ought to put that in front of me so I can just move it faster. That's a wound. I need to get the Wilhelm scream at this rate, the amount of times you're putting him down. Okay, he takes a wound because I forgot to soak that. But that's all very well. It's his go. He is going to remain shaken, so I will spend one of his bennies to unshake. He is going to move inside this building here. And he's then basically going to run back. After a few seconds, he runs back out, which gives him another 6 inches. So he literally ran in there, he disappeared for a few seconds and comes running back out. Merlin.
I don't think I'm interested in making people and influencing friends. I think we just need to go. And he will run. With my run guy.
Mm-hmm.
He will run back in here and grab Mr. Nakazumi or Nakazaki or whatever.
Yeah.
Say, it's time to go. It's time to go. Let's go. And then
Okay.
kind of back out.
Okay, and you bring Mr. Nakazumi with you, who for some reason's targeting someone. Why? I'm not sure why, but anyway. Yep. Okay, you grab him, and he agrees. He nods and thinks, "Yes, we go now." Okay, Mr. Babbyman and bodyguard number 2.
Is this thing like a physical, some kind of object?
It'll be holographic.
Okay, so you see quite easily through.
Yes, indeed, yeah.
Okay, in that case, Mr. Bodyguard will go in that direction, so he can. Actually, how do I target for the bodyguard?
I think you would. What you'd have
You
to do
click
is
on the bodyguard. You
Yeah.
click on the bodyguard, so that's your selected token, and then
Okay.
you control click on your target.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Stupid question.
Okay.
And he will. Now I have no idea because there's like auto fire and multiple blah 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 blah. What happens when I just click on the SMG? It has
It should
number
auto
3.
it should do. Yeah, it will auto fire automatically because these guys are all combat augmented. So you double click it, all the edges and everything will apply, and it does it all for you.
Okay.
He hits once.
Okay, and then does it understand that as well? So I will.
Yeah, just roll the damage. Yeah, just roll the damage. So you shake him.
Okay.
Okay.
And Babyman will basically, he sees another guy there again, still standing. Or again, standing.
Yeah. Nothing. Yeah. No, we're not paying charge of it because we're not liable for it. It was his idea to do it, so just let him have it back and just go. Yeah. Yeah, just let him have it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. All right. Cheers. See you later. Cheers. Bye.
Yeah, I know you get the second roll. That makes bodyguard friendly towards you. Whoops! I just incapacitated him by mistake.
Are you hinting something? That's not what Babyman does to his friends.
Exactly. Right, now the bodyguard was actually on hold. So if I drag him down there, I just because I think it's fun to let you have as a benefit for actually talking to him. As he shrinks down to size, he's now under your control as well. He's got the same stats as the other guy. So
okay. So so he has a turn this now.
Yeah, he has acted this turn, so you could act him right now.
Okay. Are we now like higher than there? Can we see there?
If you get to the edge, if you get down, yeah. Oh, it's yes.
Okay.
If you get to the edge, you can look down. Yes.
Okay, then that's what he will start to do. He will start to go towards the edge.
Yep, you can see down from there.
And I would guess that he wants to target that dude.
Okay, go for it. It's interesting to see if it keeps the Joker bonus or not. If it doesn't, I can manually add it back in. It didn't, so give me a second, because that becomes a 3, that becomes an 11, that becomes a 4. So you hit twice. So
okay,
roll damage twice. Not that you need to after that first roll, my word. But if you want to roll damage twice for pure bragging rights of damage inflicted, feel free. I'm never going to stop players rolling dice. Okay, so after inflicting 5 wounds on that poor little terrorist, you basically eviscerate him in a hail of gunfire. And down he goes. Well, the bodyguard, not you.
Babyman is a peace-loving man.
Exactly. Bodyguard opens fire on full auto. Hit with raise. 2 hits. Interesting. I didn't think I gave the security guards rock and roll, but I think it's not picking up the fact they're meant to have recoil, but I'm not going to worry about it. Obviously compensated into the Hashimad rapid fire light gun. Right, that kills him. And that brings us to Donahue. Right, you're out of the system, and yeah, it's carnage out here. Now you're back in the real world.
I can see one guy left.
Yep. You get the idea.
I'll try to sneakily open the window.
Yep.
Or look out the window, and then hopefully have the drop on him when I shoot him.
Yep, be my guest.
Just don't shoot Beulah.
Oh, that would be amusing.
Okay, those effects didn't work then. Because it didn't apply the drop for my smart link.
Because you applied the drop on yourself, which means that everyone gets +4 to hit you.
Oh. No, that didn't work. But with a drop, I should hit him since it's just difficulty 4.
Would you get the drop on him? He's expected. Yeah, I'll
did.
allow it.
I hadn't done anything at all. I wasn't,
No. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just thinking out loud. Why didn't that? Yeah, I'm curious why that didn't give him +4. Oh yes, he did on the damage though. Yeah, I'm not complaining.
I put it on myself, not on them.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine. Okay, down he goes. Not a problem at all. That brings us to Aki. Looks like they're all down.
Well,
You're running into the building.
yeah, I'm running that way. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to ask the security guy if he's all right.
He looks a bit shaken up, and obviously looking at the bodies everywhere. And goes, "There's still one inside. I don't know what's going on." That brings us to Queen, unless there's anything else Mr. Aki wants to do.
No, that'll do.
Mr. Queeg.
I'll just move ahead, and as soon as I see where the other guy is, I'll act as a shield for Mr. Nakasumi.
Okie dokie. You act as a shield for Mr. Nakasumi. That's absolutely fine. We're on to the fourth round. And what do we have? We have more bennies being given out. I'm definitely thinking it's time to drop the deck back down to 2 jokers. Aki gets to go
more
first.
Jokers, more fun.
I'm only joking. I don't have a problem with that. Mr. Aki, you have the joker. You get to go first.
I will go on hold.
Mr. Babyman.
Babyman will continue. No, where did Bill? Okay, yeah. Babyman will continue and run actually. So let's actually take that back. Massive run. I think
Huge,
he stopped to light up a joint.
I'm intrigued. Why is your pace?
I didn't shield.
Yeah, I'm just curious why his pace is 5, though. Are you encumbered?
Oh.
Yes, you are. That's fine.
So Mr. Bodyguard will continue going closer. Having better visibility.
Yep.
And then shoots. No.
Lorem Ipsum. Ipsum Lorem Ipsum. I Ipsum did my Lorems.
Sorry.
Also needs to be an active.
I believe so. Try now. Yeah. Look at that. That's 1 hit. But 2 wounds. I do believe he has some bennies left. He has 1 benny left. So he'll try soaking that, which he fails to do. He's in a bad way. He's on 3 wounds at this point. Can I have notice checks from Pow Pow, Queeg, and Waif as we see what the other bodyguard gets up to?
He doesn't have targets here, so he will go and help his pal.
Okey-dokey. Queeg and Waif and Pow Pow, you notice that this eco-terrorist seems to be holding something in his hand when he came running back out of the building. He was holding a gun as he went charging in. Waif and Pow Pow with the razors, you notice he appears to be holding a dead man's switch.
Got a bomb.
And then the security guard shoots him.
Maybe.
Yep.
And that kills him. It drops him. The guy falls to the floor, and the dead man's switch drops out of his hand. Nope.
Come on, shoot the dead man's switch before it can trigger the trigger.
Hang on, let's get it right. I think you might be in luck, guys. Yep. As there's a massive explosion. Fortunately, none of you are in the blast radius. I really should have changed my dice colour for that, but anyway. As a bomb goes off over there. But the chaos of the carnage is raining down, but the terrorists seem to be stopped. Waif. There's a huge explosion, blast of debris and shockwave that comes rushing towards you, but basically doesn't catch you in it.
I'm gonna yell to the others, we need to get the hell out, and I'm gonna head for the escalator going down.
Indeed. Now I'm very much aware this is going to do it everywhere, but obviously after the bomb goes off, the sprinkler system activates, which, as you can imagine, causes absolute chaos to any powered-on equipment,
including in the outside.
I know
it's a very efficient sprinkler system. It makes it start raining outside as well.
I know, but who cares? It's just it was raining outside anyway.
It's part of the sprinkler system that was in the blast radius. It's all spraying into the air now.
Exactly, yeah.
The blast snapped out Babyman's lighter. He shakes it up, gets it going again, just about to light his joints, and then the sprinklers go off.
I love it. Right. Now, you see, what I'd have to do then is I have to put on. I know the rain effect gives you lightning as well, so I don't blah 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 blah. But there you go. You happy now, people? Mr. Donahue.
Ooh.
Everything's dead, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless the building guards decide to turn on us, yes.
At best, I'll hold, I guess.
It looks more like a sprinkler system. It's not as intense. No problem at all. That brings us to Pow Pow. You're getting wet.
Oh no, I don't like it. I have to comb my hair.
Exactly.
What weird signs come in your hair, or just normally come in your hair?
He's a cat.
I was combing my hair.
Cats don't do bath time. Well, I'm still. I reckon we should run out of here, but I'm still a wee bit worried that some people are going to get caught with a stray bullet on their way out. So I'm going to cast protection again. But this time, I want to get Quig and I want to get Mr. As well.
Okie dokie.
Because they were outside my line of sight before.
And if you put it on toughness, then it'll even stack with the other one.
Well, they don't have it at the minute. I don't think.
Rig doesn't have it.
Okay.
So, yeah, more armor. Quig gets 4 points of armor, and then I'm going to run like hell.
Because you're getting wet. So
I'm getting wet.
That was on Quig and on Mr. Nakazumi, was it?
Yes.
Okay. 4 points of armor on Mr. Quig and Mr. Nakazumi.
Let's run away, lads. Come on, hurry up.
Okay, Quig.
I'm going to go on hold until Mr. Nakazumi gets past me.
Okie dokie.
Outlanders.
Security guard is going to rush back inside. Get to his desk, and he's going to basically he's going to try and make some calls, but obviously everything's down for the sprinkler system's gone off. In the distance, you can hear police sirens and probably emergency vehicles coming. Obviously, the blast's gone. The sprinkler system will shut down as well. But everything's wet, and that brings us to Merlin.
Who will, unless Nakazumi fights him, will go ahead and I need to run again. Run 9. Okay, that'll work. We'll run to there and bring Mr. Nakazumi with him.
Yep. No problem at all. Mr. Nakazumi comes with you. Which means we get down to Mr. Bula.
Hops in the car and gets it ready to go.
Okay, no problem at all. Hops in the car, gets it ready to go. And for all intents and purposes, I think basically at this point, you will. There won't be any. There's no more real actions there. There's no implications. You're all able to hop into the van, and or other forms of transportation, and leave the area. Toot sweet. Definitely a case of being in the wrong place at the wrong time there. Never. You may well have.
For them.
Yeah. Well, but a bit of both, really, wasn't it? Yeah. But yes, it seems that you had an eventful night out at Metcom Tower. You're not entirely sure the politics that's going on there, but maybe more will come out later. Okay, where do you wish to head?
Back to the ramen shop. Find out what the guys who did the hacking, if they picked up anything that we didn't, fill them in on what we've got.
Okie dokie.
Just for a quick, we got to go to that. We want to go to that other location, don't we? But I suppose we've got to give a debriefing first.
Right, there we go.
and brought Mr. Nakazumi off. He doesn't stay with us on runs.
No.
With us this time because he's the owner, and to make it legit.
Right. Tokens should be unlocked, so you should be able to move freely. It would be nice if there was like a marching order, so you didn't have to drag everyone in a line all the time. You know what I mean? You could have different, you could, when you drag all the tokens on, you could drop them in a different shape than a diagonal line. But anyway, in the meantime, we could have some heavy rain in the background.
I think that is what the order tab of the party sheet is for.
Yeah, doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't automate dragging them on the combat track to the map. It'd be good if it did.
It would be cool if it did. But anyway, I think as we decided, there we go. It's raining. It's meant to, it's always raining, isn't it? We've seen Blade Runner. It's always raining. Everyone's walking by with those really cool umbrellas that were also torches. Okay.
Point out to him that he was calling the guy that's running this real estate shakedown here in the Barrens while we were in there, and find out if they picked up anything from that call, or at least where it came from. Because that would be our next target.
We should but probably give me us the evening to decrypt the information I acquired.
Yep, and try and find out if we can get a better pinpoint on the location we got.
I give it off to them. I give them where I tracked that message.
Okay. Yep. Basically what it tracks down to is it seems to lead you to well, an area of the Barrens that a gang known as well, I've lost me. Where is it? A gang known as the Denim Eagle clan area. An interesting bunch. They call themselves the Denim Eagles because they wear denim jackets with eagle patch, with eagles patched on the back of them. And
must take them ages to come up with that idea for a gang name.
No, right, it rolled it up on a gang generator.
Oh, the gang generator. He's got all of it. What's going on?
And I do believe you did your common knowledge on those before. You did find some information that there was some rumors going around that you found that they were linked in some way to this. And there was a guy who goes by the name of Swinging Gatslinger as their leader. But there are rumors and stories of fractions within the Denim Eagles. I gather there's sort of some splinter group that thinks they would look better in leather than denim, but obviously that's a separate issue. But yeah, but it would appear that the information you got along those lines may be right, because that does seem to be where the message ended up.
Okay, sounds like it's time to pay these eagles a visit and make them cutoffs.
Or maybe wait until we have a chance to go through this information
right now. You go ahead and go through your stuff. I'm just saying that it sounds like we need to. That will be our next step. This will just give us more ammo on them, kind of thing.
What is all these eagles now? I thought we were going for some dogs.
It's a whole menagerie. Don't worry about it.
Are they
6,
still
7,
in this
8, 9, 10.
What is it called? What is it called? What is it? In this kind of jungle or in the real one?
Ooh, that's an interesting. Well, I think in the real one, rather than that virtual jungle that they keep running off to in the past. But who knows? It's up to you guys to how you want to answer that one, really. So, what's your plans?
Well, since the gang is in the Barrens, we can go and confront the gang directly. Still doesn't tell us who the top guy is. But we might be able to scare the gang into telling us.
Well, indeed. So if you want to follow up on that, basically you've got the localized area, and when you get closer, you can do a nice sweep of Wi-Fi access ports and everything. You'll be able to pin down which exact building it routed to. Or you can decrypt the data. It's your call which way you want to go. And don't forget also that if you want, you could also keep you can make a note on the update of how you can sort of have a check on how the update of the decryption process on Mogwai's camera is getting on.
Oh yeah, how is that getting on?
Well, someone will need to log on and make a hacking roll to see how far the decryption's got.
Here I go.
It looks like it's got. It looks like it's progressing nicely. It's at about 65%. As I say, it's really good decryption. Obviously, without having, I mean, the fact you had to route it through, the fun trick was routing it through a couple of supercomputers without the corporations noticing it, which is obviously affecting the decryption times. But it's getting there. A couple more days, you'll probably finally be able to crack your way through the camera. But it's so you've got to. It's at 65% or thereabouts. So, what's your plan of attacks?
Well, I reckon we've got to go doubt that place out now, haven't we?
Well, I guess we're going to wait for the decryption to be done, and then we'll go from there.
Okie
I mean,
dokie.
the decryption of what we just downloaded, not the decryption of the camera.
Yeah. Okay. In that case, actions, access encrypted data. You are either trying to decrypt the data or outright attack the scramble ice. Decrypting the data requires the decrypt utility, which you've got, which requires a successful hacking roll.
Can I help him on that? Well, it looks like he got it. But...
yeah, you can help him with that. That was a separate hacking roll. That was just basically updating the separate one. That's a +2 because it's on Donahue's data jack. So obviously, yeah, you hand over some handy decryption algorithms you've written in the past, Beulah, that Donahue can manipulate and use to help him crack the code. And see what Donahue gets on his hacking roll to see.
I already rolled.
Oh, I didn't see it up there. Sorry. I didn't see you hacking up there. I apologise. You did indeed. And you even did the 2d4 as well. So a success with +2 makes it an 8. So that's a raise. Every raise lowers it. So it's going to it takes about 30 seconds for the decryption to run through. And you basically, what you find here is a complete list of, a complete list breakdown of all the properties in this area, the Barrens, that's food outlets. They complete breakdown on each of them. And also marks them up in various stages of advancement, as it were. So it would appear that there seems to be multiple categories. One category is basically the straightforward one, which is sold, which appears to indicate that a business transaction has gone through. There seems to be another category where it's basically, and you notice that the 64th Street is classified in this category because it was obviously being updated at the same time you're getting the data down as under negotiation. Then you find there's a third category, which is basically not yet approached, and a fourth category, which is a very strange code. It just seems to have a code of X next to it. You're not entirely sure what that one means. X, just the letter X.
There's addresses connected to those ones, though?
There are addresses connected to all of them, yes.
Let's find out what's going on with the X ones, isn't it?
I was going to say, yes. It's got a bunch of addresses that we should probably take a look at least a couple of them first. I'll look for the nearest one.
Yeah, most of it would appear that if you look at as you look at the sort of process, most of them seem to be on the edge of the Barrens, and you can see a timeline. It seems to be moving in. So the closest one to you had a date stamp of X put on it about the same time, the same night. Yesterday night, in fact. Actually, thinking about it, wasn't it? It was only yesterday night. You had your second run in with the hot dogs, I believe. or the day before, whichever the same date. Can I have common knowledge checks, actually, please?
Is that everybody? Yeah.
And yeah, everybody. It's fine. Donahue definitely keeps his ear to the ground when it comes to local street knowledge.
Streetwise count?
Streetwise will be contacting third parties. I will say it would help if you've got Streetwise Edge. Then we'll give it a +1 bonus on that. So,
in which case that's a 12.
Yeah, which gives you a couple of raises. So, what Merlin, Aki, Beulah, you all know that the following day after that X came out, those people found the place shut up with the blinds down, and it hasn't opened for business since the couple of days ago when it went from the date of the X stamp. This is the nearest two that you know about. Pal, you've heard a bit more that basically no one's been able to find the owner. And Donahue, with your underground contacts, you understand that those that did actually because obviously there's no police investigations in this area, but those that some youths did bust it inside and found that the entire internal contents of the building were gone. It was like an empty shell, but there was strange charring on all the walls.
So the owners are dead, and the place has been arsoned?
No, not so much arson. It's not. It's a strange side of charring. There's no sign of fire or anything, and all content seems to be gone. It's just basically an empty shell of a building. No machinery. No, nothing at all. Not even rats.
Is this one of the X buildings? Is it?
I copied the owners into a separate file.
Mm-hmm. That was the nearest X, yes.
Okay.
And if you remember, at the same day that X happened, you discovered an interesting beeping object, didn't you, in your basement? That
A
had
bomb,
been
yes.
delivered.
They took that apart.
You did actually, yes, you did start taking that one apart, and yeah, it did, yeah. I think you took it apart for machinery parts. There were chemical elements which you probably can get analysed thinking about it. In a hurried bit of retcon there.
Okay, so they killed anyone who would not negotiate or sell out.
Yeah,
that's your current line of thinking.
they
Yes.
bomb them, and they're moving, and the acquisitions are starting outside, working in towards middle of town.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, you're not near the middle, and it looks like they're going to keep sweeping across. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
truthfully,
they're buying up all the places, all the land, basically.
Do we got the name for whoever?
Sorry, I was talking over you there.
Do we have the name of those whose name is on the deeds?
Yes, yes, you've got all the details there. So there's about, all told, there's 20 addresses, including Raman on 64th. In the action list, there's another 30 or so in the that haven't been actioned yet.
Ooh.
Of those, we'll say. Of those, we'll say 6 sold. 40. 6 have sold. 4 are under negotiation, including 64th, and the other 10 all have X's marked next to them.
Okay. Do I know who the other 3 businesses that are under negotiation are?
You've got their names and addresses. Yes, they you don't necessarily know them because obviously
I don't.
You always come to 64th on Raman, don't you?
I will send an emails or a communication to the other 3. subject line something along the lines of bad sausages, giving them indigestion, and the message will basically be encoded like aware of the problem with the hot dogs. If you're interested in assistance dealing with that, contact, and I'll give them a throwaway contact
email address, yeah.
thing.
Untraceable mailbox, yeah.
If you have a problem, phone pest control.
I'll put it in terms of like indigestion and antacids and stuff like that. So the 6 that have sold, are they all to the same person, or are they to a business, or?
Yeah, that's the other thing. Yeah, you can find all the records of everything else, but there doesn't appear to be. You can see, who's sold and everything else. Oh, you've got the names and addresses of those businesses, yes, but no, not who they've sold them to, if that makes sense.
It's gotta be that's got to be listed somewhere.
Well, you would have thought so. But it always seems to refer to it. It only seems to refer to it as Mr. Big.
And that's the signature on him is like, B.
Sorry.
And that's the signature on the dog on the transfers is just like Mr. B.
All of those just seem to be electronic signatures, electronically
Bratwurst.
signed businesses.
The big dog.
Yeah. Or the top dog, maybe. Who knows? Or the big dog, as you say.
Out here, you could call them Okie dogs, but that's story. That's a Los Angeles specialty.
All right, so we know we're looking for a Mr. Big, which is obviously an alien. I messaged the 3 other businesses that are currently resisting.
Yep.
I guess about the only thing.
Yeah, basically, from the details you've got there, the 3 other businesses that are currently under negotiation are Master Burger, proprietor Quinn Masters, Pasta Hut, proprietor Marcus Lee, and Taco Tuesday. You don't actually have the full name details there. You just got a JJ.
Sorry, what was the second one?
Pasta Hut, Marcus Lee is the owner.
And the Master Burger was?
Quinn Masters.
So yeah, I'll send off a communication implying that our services are for hire for dealing with the hot dogs.
Okie doke.
Also, the businesses that aren't in negotiation that are X'd, can we determine whether they're still operating businesses or whether
they're destroyed?
They're destroyed.
They got bombed.
Every one of them.
We checked out like 3 of them. They all had the same thing. Businesses destroyed. All the equipment's gone. There's charring on the walls, and nobody knows where the owners are. I know what I plan to do about those 10 destroyed businesses, but that'd be more of a downtime thing, I think. And the only other thing I can think of would be to do some networking to find out about this Mr. Big and his ties to the Eagle Claws. Or Denim Eagles.
Yes, indeed. Actually, Eagles Claws would have been a better name, but Denim Eagles they are. Maybe there will be another sub-fraction to call themselves that day afterwards. But anyway, yes. Oh. Hopefully lots to go on. Definitely seems to be the world of selling hot dogs seems to be quite a dark and dangerous place after all.
Yes. Should we go and go to that place then, where it's all started?
Or you can investigate. It's up to you guys. You can always, if you want to investigate other things, obviously by all means. So that's as I say. You could go wherever you like. Well, this is your oyster.
Are we have much investigating have we got to do? I thought we was men of action and women of action.
Leif is all for going and confronting the gang to see if we can shake loose any further information.
Yeah, before they start, let's find out why they're taking over. What's happened? Can we? Okay, well, we're talking about action, but I was sort of saying, what can we see? What's happened to the ones they did buy out? They've just been turned into burger bars, have they, or hot dog bars?
Oh, you could look one of those up. Yeah, go for it. Have a look. Okay.
I thought they were they had signs saying whatever hot dog coming here soon.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, coming soon. Yeah, but nothing else other than that.
No, that's what you saw when you found them. Yeah, there were signs outside saying coming soon. Yes.
And is that all the ones? Since we've hacked their computer now, we've got a bit more information. Is there any that have actually opened up?
Not that you can see. If you wanted to check out the nearest one, then you could always head out to.
I think we should maybe go into one. Go into the oldest one.
Actually, since they are moving into where we are, the nearest ones may not be open yet. We actually need to go to one of the first ones.
Yeah, go to the first one they bought, the first one they acquired. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, one of the first ones they acquired. You find the proprietor's name is Frank Valentino, and it's a business that was what was called the Ricotta House.
Ah, jeez.
Never had thought I'd make up so many names and company names on the fly, but I'm food related is relatively easy. But I'm fairly
and what is
you should make chicken shops because all you got to do is do SFC, KFC, NFC, Northeast FC, Southwest FC. There's about the whole compass. Southern fried chicken, Northern fried chicken, Western fried chicken.
Ah, it's okay. Ah, that's dull though, isn't it?
Northwest fried chicken.
Mr. Merlin, you were saying something there.
Yeah, I was going to ask. So, what's the status of this one? It's the furthest one, potentially the first one hit.
Yes.
Is it open for business?
You'd probably have to go check it out. It's sort of it's as I say, it's on the edge of the Barrens, and sort of not in an area that you guys, as a rule, really head out to. It's sort of basically as north as the Barrens go, right on the edge of the south conurbation, as it were.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is I think that's where we're headed now, isn't it?
Yeah,
I reckon
okay.
so.
Yep. So heading. So you head out. You head out up to the south conurbation, northern Barrens border, as it were. There's no sort of the boundary change is sort of evolving over time. The south conurbation slowly creeps down, and you notice the Barrens because basically the buildings are very run down, and obviously, and whereas the south conurbation buildings they're new. They're not exactly as posh and expensive as the intern ones, but they're rising up. So this the south conurbation towers over the edge of the Barrens here. You do see when you get to the address of what was the Ricotta House, it does appear to be closed up like the others with the sign out front, although it gives the impression that it is opening imminently. It actually says imminently, no exact date. They do appear to be it does appear to be all blocked off, so you can't see inside or anything. But yeah.
Can we get inside? Do we want to get inside?
It's up to you if you can get inside and if you want to get inside.
Yeah, exactly. So do we want to get inside, everyone? See what's going on inside. Though we might find it's a meth lab. It could be Walter White. And Jesse
Bobbyman
Pinkman.
thinks it's good to go inside. It's raining in again.
That does sound like a good idea.
That's a good excuse to break into a building because it's raining. Yeah.
And, actually, I felt I can use that. It's funny, actually. It's where's the images.
Found a picture of Walter White with his out on Heisenberg. That's the boss.
I worry too much about that. Okay. Basically, yes, you can get inside the building. It will require some jiggery pokery of the locks, but
Who's our cunning thief? Come on, one of us has got thieving skills.
Merlin can pick a lock if it's just a regular lock.
I mean, when it comes to when you say it's a regular lock, it's at the end of the day, it is basically, it is literally a case of lock picking is mechanical and electronic locks with with the right tools, basically. So
I'm not very good, but I'll give it a
could
go.
help you with that too.
Yeah, Merlin doesn't understand electronic locks, though.
Oh, in that case, yeah, it is more it's sort of one of those keypad locks. It's we're on the edge. We're not into the high tech zones here, so it is a mechanical lock. Well, it's one of those old fashioned style.
I mean,
the ones where you press the numbers.
Rusty has got a gold key. It looks like something out of Dungeons and Dragons. Merlin.
Well, no, he can probably figure out what the proper magical sequence is to push the buttons, if that's all it is. But if it's like a card reader or something, that would be beyond him.
No. You could if you've got thievery, you can open it unless you've got some.
I will support on this to try and identify what lock it is.
Well, I should actually turn that around the other way because you actually do need the thievery to pick the lock. Merlin, with his stealth roll there, I will allow to sort of, having seen the ideas before. But between the two of you, you are able to open the back door, as it were, and you're able to enter the building.
Let's have a look around.
Well, indeed, it appears to be. Actually, I could use that one. I don't need to. Basically, you open it up. It brings you into the back. You appear to be coming into the kitchen area. There do appear to be some cooking appliances there. There does also appear to be an area where it sort of seems to be just sort of lots of undulating bits of metal and rollers to rotate things. You get the impression that that may well be what the frankfurters will sit on and just slowly rotate under heated lamps to keep them warm.
It literally is a sausage shop. Fuck's sake. It is mental. What are they using though? Are they using the people they blew up to make the burgers or make the sausages?
Inside,
Soylent Green.
There appears to be two. There appears off to the other side. There appears to be two large freezers.
Yeah, I'm going to go and have a look at the freezer, see what's in there.
Okay. The first freezer seems to basically be full of. I'd say it's nice and cold in there, but it's full of large. It's sort of quite one whole side of it. Half of it is stacked to one side around the edges, I should say. So half the space around the edge is filled up with stacked almost to the ceiling cardboard boxes.
In a freezer.
I hope that freezer's filled with cow and not
cardboard,
people.
plastic boxes. The other freezer, the other walk-in freezer, just appears. Both of them basically filled with plastic crates. It would appear. Yes.
All right, so I'm going to open up one of the crates then.
Oh, don't be dead bodies. Don't be dead bodies.
Inside this crate, you find it is just basically filled with bread rolls.
Oh, and is that the same? Is it the same in both freezers? Maybe one's bread and the other one's meat. I'm going to look for one that's got meat in it.
Appears to be hundreds, and I do mean a ridiculous amount of sausages. Yes.
Okay.
I thought I was a wee bit scared we were going to have a Soylent Green moment now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's what they're doing. Maybe they're killing people and using their bodies. Where are they getting all these sausages from?
Apparently, they're coming from a place called Mangrove Farm. which is an
Mangrove
interesting
Farm
combination.
sausages. So, do we want to go Mangrove Farm first? Do we want to just go straight for the head? There's nothing manky or suspicious looking. It just looks like a Frankfurter shop getting ready to open up.
Yes. But it's, I mean, the only thing you would say, there seems to be an awful lot of bread rolls and sausages. I mean, there's probably a couple of years worth, even if everyone in the Barrens was eating them, it's probably a couple of years worth of supply in here. So whether it's but maybe they're really tasty, who knows?
Yeah, maybe they're addictive.
Having said that, Merlin is actually going to take 3 or 4 of them, and he wants to have them analyzed. He wants to cook one, but he also wants to have them analyzed to see if there's anything nefarious or suspicious in them.
Yeah, take some of the bread too as well.
Okay. I'm sure one of you has a contact who can get those analysed. So, yep, you take some of those.
Well, I'm a drug dealer, so I've probably got someone who can work out the contents of it. Yeah. I mean, no. Oh, did I just say that out loud? Yeah, I've got contacts that.
I have friends in low places.
Yeah, you should have. Yeah. Yeah, no, we don't want to blow it up yet, but let's find out what it is.
Indeed.
Well, considering that Naka, whatever does sushi, and then these guys are hot dogs, we're not hurting ourselves here.
Well, this is it, isn't it?
Let's just blow it.
But yeah, but we maybe we should do that later. Maybe we need to find out what the we don't want to draw attention to ourselves more than we already have, do we?
No, I don't know.
Well, maybe we could blow it. Yeah.
Buell is not the sharpest knife in the drawer. He just sees the immediate answer. Occam's razor.
That simple repair check would allow you to basically rupture the gas lines and rig up a simple timer that basically ignites the gas after a certain amount of time. Yeah, you know exactly how you could use the equipment in this place to rig it to just have an unfortunate gas explosion.
Okay, but are there cameras around that might have seen us coming in this building?
And in character, Beulah's major hindrance is impulsivity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say, while Beulah's doing that, I'm going to say, hold on a minute, let's check if there's any cameras first. Because we don't want to. Oh look, it was them who blew it up. Yeah, we don't want to get straight. We don't want to get the heat straight away.
Let's have some notice checks. See if you can see any cameras.
Yes, my favorite role. I have some kind of, what was it? Jinxed.
Yes. But you did okay. You got a 2. You didn't fail.
Quick sees it.
Wow, indeed. Actually, that's okay. Let me see now. Merlin, Aki, Beulah. None of you can see any cameras in here, which is unusual. Quig and Donahue, you actually see where cameras were, and they do not appear to be there anymore. As in, you can see they've been removed, and you can still see the cables. Maybe they're going to fit some cameras in later, but it looks like for now that all the cameras have been removed from the premises.
Now's the time to blow it.
Okay, Beulah, do it, and let's just get in our van and go heading towards the other place, shall we? To the place we located when we was at the building.
Well, in that case, I think as we drive off, I can have a shattering explosion, can't we? As you drive away.
Boom.
Oh, my ears.
I could imagine. Well, if you want it loud, hang on. This might be
do
loud.
It.
There you go.
I turned my volume up and it made me fucking jump.
Attaboy.
It's too loud. My poor ears.
I did warn you.
Yeah, no, but I turned my volume up and all. It actually made me jump. So yeah.
So there we go. Yeah. But so you drive away from the place, leaving the crater behind, and as you drive through the darkened, dangerous streets of the Barrens, heading to. Are you heading to the Denim Eagles? Are we?
I think so.
Yes, I think we shall leave you there, heading to the dark and dank basements areas of the Denim Eagles, and hope you enjoyed it. It was, as I say, it was a slow starter, but I think we got there in the end, and I think we'll continue. I think I've got my head a bit more around to the cyber hacking, and I'll reread the rules again to make sure we're happy, and we can take that off.
Change the rules and make them suit you, Kevin.
I apologize to the group if I dragged it down in a rules discussion.
It's all your fault. Yeah, all your fault. Yeah, no one's fault. I didn't have a clue what was going on at all. So I still don't have a clue what's going on.
We get the rule. If we get the rules sorted, the game speeds up. So I don't have a problem with spending a bit of time to discuss it and sort it out and discuss ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And then once we all
just roll. Right.
And then we just roll,
Ironically, I mean, most rule discussions in the group isn't real because normally we get the rules, but how do you implement it on a virtual tabletop? It's a barrier. It's like scratch your head time.
But you might know the rules. I haven't got a clue.
I think if, as I say, as those that want to those that want to sort of help with a framework, so we could just literally, so we all know what we're doing. We just say, right, you're doing this, bang, 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 so we get it nice and fast. Because I want the hacking guys to actually really be able to feel like they're doing stuff and making a difference. But at the same time, I don't want to drag it down while we spend. Because do you know what I mean? I understand there are certain other systems out there where everyone sits around while the hackers do their thing, if that makes sense. I want the idea that you guys can. I want the hacking to be as fast as non-hacking and vice versa. If that
I think that went pretty well, didn't it? We was doing combat at the same time as we was hacking, so that work. I think that worked pretty well today, didn't it?
Then you're running this dramatic task. Do you know? Ironically, I'm looking at it now, and theoretically, it is just as fast to use.
I think it is. I think it is.
You've got it weighed off.
Yeah, I think what we need. I think I need to what to do is not worry about so much about the actual ins and outs, and come. Well, I'll just have a nice little cheat sheet, and then we could just say, "You're doing this right. It's this," and we'll know that a cheat sheet is. You want to do this. It's this. It's as in the two skills. We know it's all we need is to do this. What the utility is, or what the skill is if you haven't got the utility, and that's all we need.
I'll tell you what. I'll put a system up on the wiki.
Yeah,
you can hack it to.
And it seems to be that it's basically to get in, you're either sneaking past, deceiving or maybe attacking it.
Yeah, I think of it as a dungeon room, and there's a guard sitting in front of you, and you can either sneak past them, you can kill them, or you can show them a fake ID.
Yes, exactly, and I think that's it. I think what the thing is I'm just having to reread it and understand it. I'm making it more complicated than it is. It's quite straightforward.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
If you want, there are specific skills to do specific actions, or if you have a utility, you can just use hacking. And once you understand that, it's very straightforward.
Well, no, you can't use the skill at all unless you've got the node. So you can't use
the skill. I'm ending the stream, everybody. Thanks very much for watching.
The application loaded, you can't use the skill.
Bye-bye.